and a much overdue because this man is busy. We've got OGRE in the house. We have all of your crypto experts in the house on this channel. And minimum, you have to lose at least $1 million in crypto to be qualified to get on this channel with our amazing crypto financial advice, where we bring on lots of people that have lost millions of dollars in crypto. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend, OGRE. We connect in so many ways because we both lost our asses in crypto. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Living life, loving large.
Yeah.
Just trying to do the best I can. You know what I mean? Like, do you hear about Levana? Were you in there also?
And where? And where?
Levana?
No. What's going on with Levana?
Levana was a GameFi project over on Terra Luna.
Oh,
the meteor shower and the dragons and all that.
I think I might have owned the coin.
Yeah, they didn't actually have a coin. They just
they didn't. Okay.
And yeah, no, they just freaking rugged. Basically,
I was all over the place in the Terra Luna ecosystem, all kinds of liquidity, all the different protocols, and still had it all in there when it all happened. It's nuts. That was crazy. And of course, yeah, the situation that's gone on all over the place. Now we got it going on with FTX, and it looks like there's going to be more fallout probably from all of this. A lot of the rumors flying around with the GBDC is probably BS, but it does raise a little bit of a red flag.
There's a kernel of truth at all of those. I don't think it's going to go sideways, but I agree with you. It could. And yeah, it could all get dumb real quick.
Yeah. And that would create some mega heavy sell pressure.
Yep.
I mean, crazy. Goodness gracious. So Neindorf got hacked this week, which is terrible to hear. And I know. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so I guess it had to do with the One Wallet. Do you know anything about this? People were asking. I said I don't think so, but
I know about One Wallet.
Okay, but people were asking. Like, I guess the One Wallet he had used it like a year ago, and it somehow managed to hack that account. He thinks
on his phone, or he imported an account into it.
Probably. Let me just tell you what he told me. I'll just read it real quick. And so I've been sending out lots of love his way because for him, it was a lot of money. And I think it was something like 10 grand worth. But it hit him so hard, he was like thinking about being done with crypto even. Just
no.
I know, pretty devastating.
I hate those stories, man.
I know. But then what happened was he got a lot of love from the community, and it's helped pick him back up. He has gotten a few tips and things sent in to him. I get so many messages every day. It's getting crazy. How many messages do you get every day? Would you say?
Depends on how busy I am on social media at that time.
Right.
When I kind of disappear like I have recently, I won't get as many. There's still a few that'll show up, but a lot of it will drop off unless I'm like out there more doing videos and holding spaces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then they tend to fill up pretty quickly though.
Man. So, okay. He said, apparently I'd used a One Wallet over a year ago to stake One, and that's where the vulnerability was. It got hacked, and this wallet is holding funds from me and several others that were hit today. So I guess several people got hacked.
Damn it. That's
or he was
same thing, or one of the possibilities for how they decided mine may have gotten hacked.
Really?
Was an old version of the One Wallet Chrome Explorer and possibly unpatched Google Chrome. Like there was that, remember that like Friday morning hot fix or Saturday morning hot fix for Google, and like that's when it happened back in March. So they're not sure if that played into it and
Yeah.
created like a local vulnerability that allowed them to take advantage of the one wallet vulnerability or whatever, or it
Right.
may have been something else entirely. Like they don't have a resolution. They don't know exactly how. But
Man, it's such a bummer. So everybody, yeah, on Adventures in DFK, I'll go ahead and share the screen. On Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms, this site that we all use, okay,
yeah,
be sure to sign up, do the paid membership, or you can also just send them a tip. I've just been adding a little bit here and there and sending it and adding it to my monthly,
yep.
you know,
Yeah, I remember having for a while.
yeah,
Basically, it was a few months ago. I just sent them a bunch of jewels. Like, man, just let me know when it starts running out. Like, y'all
right,
keep doing good things.
right. And it's a no brainer, anyways. But
Yep.
man, to help the man out, that would be huge.
Heck yeah.
So lots of activity, J-Dub, all kinds of people in the house. So I know, like, you really have a heart and a vision to help bring together different ecosystems that you're also a part of,
Yep.
and which would help potentially help other communities as well, but also help the DeFi Kingdoms community.
What
Uh,
helps each individual
right.
of each community, right? Like, if we can take, there's lots of people that like came in through Dogecoin and then jumped into NFTs and now they're in NFT communities, or maybe they came in through Shiba and then they jumped over into some game on Ethereum and they've only been in that
Yeah.
community.
Right.
So helping connect to those communities so that people can be like, okay, well, I like this community, but what else is out there? Like introduce them to another community where they might make a couple friends and find another cool project, and it
Yeah.
just kind of connects all the communities together.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. And
so
there's
yeah,
there's plenty of that. I mean, most people in crypto, I was in so many different ecosystems, and it's
mhm.
actually kind of been re-traumatizing going, because I had put my head in the sand with a lot of them, and I had liquidity pools all over the place on tons of different blockchains all over the place, which never fall asleep on your liquidity because
Yeah,
they,
that quickly goes away with a market crash.
I know. So I was going back into Solana last week or a couple weeks
Ooh,
ago, and a bunch of the tokens are just stuck on there because there's no liquidity anymore
yeah,
for Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's bad. So you got to be careful. Um, yeah. And here's Michael OGRE. You've done so much for so many projects. It's such a shame you are the victim of an exploit. I know. I couldn't agree more. It like hurts my heart. Just like with Nine Dwarf, it hurts, man. I like
appreciate it.
feel the pain. Oh, so most people in crypto are like pretty diversified into a whole bunch of different ecosystems, and they may not be super plugged into the community like you are necessarily, but it can only help to bring together different ecosystems. Another ecosystem that I'm a huge fan of is Cosmos, and their whole ecosystem. I just think Cosmos is kind of basically already achieved what everyone out there is trying to achieve, and
They
it's
kind
battle.
of have in some ways, like the IBC technology. I don't know enough about it, but I know that it's the next ish where we're going. In my personal opinion, like, so I'm an old school network guy, right? Like I come
Yeah.
from routers and switches and OSI model, so I related to what I know.
Tell
And I
me more.
envision the OSI model and like so we're gonna have like the UTXO, which is just a basic ledger at layer 0/1. And then at the layer above that, layer 1, we'll call it, will be like bridging and privacy or something like that. Or it might be even broken down. Maybe that's privacy, and then the layer above that is bridging. Then the layer above that will be like general computation, and then the layer above that will be the actual applications. Um,
Nice.
so so I see something like that coming down the line, and like you said, like they're already kind of doing that. That's what we want to look at in my mind, like the old school monolithic
Yes.
chains, like the Harmony and all. Actually, a lot of them still, right? They're gonna have to change their layer 1 or their underpinning, which is definitely something that can be done. Harmony did it. Their team changed from proof of work to proof of stake.
Yep.
So it definitely can be done. So is Ethereum. So I mean, I think over time that's going to need to be done just to reduce the size of the chain and keep up with technology. So as long as the chain has a team that's capable of doing that, I don't really think the chain matters, right? Because there's going to be a stack and standardization that comes out over time. And that's what we're really waiting on, right? That's what we're should be looking for, is those teams that are like doing that cool stuff like IBC over on Cosmos.
Right. And it's got to be secure. It's got to work fast, be
easy,
quick, be easy. And so Cosmos is like battle tested. I was tweeting with somebody yesterday who's going to be in Miami, which you're not going to be in Miami, are you?
No, I got the kiddos, and I'm going up to Boston next week.
I'm going to be there. I'm like a man on a mission to get altcoin daily, to beg me, desperately beg me, and offer me all kinds of goods and plunder to be on their channel to talk about DeFi Kingdoms. That's an exaggeration, but if I can do it and get DeFi Kingdoms on the map in some of those different ways, that'll be huge. I think for the whole project, to get people, a lot of the people that have left the ecosystem don't even know like what's going on. So many good things going. I love it.
Oh my gosh. And we got Clayton about to launch too.
Oh, baby. Right.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know it. I love it. So speaking of, you can take a quick peek at their little sheet. You know, they've got this spreadsheet.
Yeah, last time I checked,
there's more ready columns. How about that? More ready columns. And so,
yeah, there's still a little bit of work to do.
Yeah. And I was expecting delays because you've been in crypto for a while, right?
Yeah. Nothing this complex ever goes smoothly.
Yes. I mean, do you ever know of a single project that has just hit their timeline, you know, hit their roadmaps, hit all their deadlines?
Now, usually I give like an extra 25% at least. Like if they say it's going to be 3 months, be like, all right, I'll start looking for it and asking questions around 4 months.
I can't even think of I was trying to think of a single project. I mean, if there is one, maybe it's like CZ with Binance. Because I mean, the best of them have had, and I mean, the delays into multiple months and years generally is like usual.
Yeah.
That's what I'm used to.
I'm in one game that I got into in 2018, promising that animals were going to be breeding, assets were going to be on chain, there was going to be a PvP aspect to it. None of that stuff happened. It's basically just like boring Farmville.
And oftentimes it just doesn't happen because they don't have the foundation put in place as a team to manage things like being a team is not easy. And so to really have all that together, DeFi Kingdoms has only gotten stronger through how resilient they've been through all the hell they've been through. They've only solidified themselves in a more secure foundation, it feels like, unless I'm missing something. Maybe you know something I don't, right? But they just seem like they're on the right track. They're solid.
Bro, I don't know of another team in the crypto space right now that I have more confidence in. I'll say that.
Really? So you would honestly say that?
Yeah, 100%.
That means a lot coming from OGRE. That really does. Because I know you've been involved in a lot of different ones. You even mentioned Near. You've kind of been plugging into the Near ecosystem, which is an interesting.
Little bit, not enough. I probably should have given them more of a chance, but now the FTX money all went away, and that was a big part of their funding. I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to devote over there.
I know, and they had a lot of VC funding and stuff that always makes me personally nervous.
Yep.
Not
Why
that
they get into Solana.
Yeah, right. So I never trusted Solana that much because something just seemed fishy with them. Yeah, LFG, DFK team best. So I'm always saying the best team that I've ever seen in crypto. It's like the dream team. Not that they're perfect, and not that
no one's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to criticize. I mean, they're not perfect, but there's a lot of haters out there that criticize in such a way that downs them with these matter-of-fact statements. It downs them so hard. And it's like,
all right, here's the deal. In my mind,
tell me.
They're human beings, right? Yeah. They have their failings just like you and I do.
Right.
They're just on a more public scale because they're building something that we're all involved in.
Yeah.
They communicate way better than any other crypto team that I've ever heard or dealt with, they respond to issues, right? And that's not every project is going to have problems, right?
Sure.
They're going to have to take a knee at some point. The real question is what happens next? And the team not only gives information on a regular basis, but also solves the problems quickly. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I am definitely very glad that I got a nice little stash.
Yes,
I'm
right.
involved in DeFi Kingdoms because I
You
think
got
that
a
this
nice
is
locked
a
amount,
very solid chance of being a big winner in the crypto
right?
space over the next several years.
Right. So a lot of the criticism they get is that they don't communicate well. They don't, or they don't communicate. They don't listen to the community. And I'm just like, okay, how long have you been in crypto? Like in the real world, and they're always newbies.
Yeah.
And people that say they don't develop fast, they're slow developers. I'm like,
What?
they're new to crypto, right? They
Yeah.
need to go venture out into the ecosystem and get a dose of reality, because all the hate that they get is like the reasons why I'm in the project, because they're so awesome. They do their best, right? They're just human beings doing their best to be transparent in the right way. They're trying their best to do what they can do. They can only do what they can do. But they're doing their best from my standpoint, and there's so much upside. Yes, glad your vote went through. I'm so pumped because hopefully soon you'll get some unlocked stuff.
Oh,
Man,
heck
not a lot
yeah.
of unlocked stuff though coming right out. I
So,
thought
yeah.
I thought it was like more unlocked stuff right away, but it's not.
Yeah, no, it's like over the next year and a half.
Yeah, even the what I thought was unlocked is like in a vesting period with Jewel,
Yep.
with everything. So
Mhm.
44% goes to locked crystal, 44% goes to locked jade. The other 12%, out of the other 12%, it's like what, 1 or 2% that actually comes out unlocked,
Less
something
than
like
two.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that's not in the form of crystal, but in jade and then jewel. That's what we'll get day one unlocked, but it's not going to create a bunch of sell pressure in the
Right.
short term. I'm so bullish on jewel long term.
No, I'm locking all my jewel up.
I know, right? I'm
Like, have
so
you
bullish.
tried locking any up?
You might as well. Yeah, I did 21,000 jewel for 3 years. And I'm going to do some more.
He did. Yeah, I didn't have that much jewel, unfortunately, but I will soon, and I will be doing very much the same thing because,
Yeah.
bro, if you calculate the returns just on the traffic right now, ROI was like a year. So that's like basically 100% a year. So yeah, I'm gonna lock it up for 3 years, and then at the end of that, I'll have 300% in profit plus that
Mhm.
original jewel unlock. Thank you. I'm all
Yeah,
over that.
that's
Something
right.
to
That's
keep in
right.
mind though, make sure
And
you keep some jewel liquid until Clayton drops because
uh-huh.
the locked jewel on Clayton is reaping the rewards from that DEX, which early on is going to have a lot more traffic. So
Right.
I'm
So right now
interested
the
in trying to
traffic,
jump over there.
yeah, once the raffles ended, once the Gen Zero contest ended,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we've seen people taking a breather from all that summoning. So we've seen the rewards come way down
Mm-hmm.
substantially. I'm guessing 20 to 30% APR at this point.
Right.
So I was hoping that maybe even within a year, because right off the bat, it was like 200 or 300%. Like I got hundreds of jewel those first couple days.
Right. Well, on once Clayton comes, I think it's going to be very
Yes,
similar over there because you're
right.
going to have all those people that if you can get in there quickly, they're coming in after you. Then they're going to have to buy the Clayton and then create their own or jump into the LPs themselves or do whatever. And there's going to be all those brand new heroes with
Yep,
virtual zero cost to summon with
that's
and
right.
virtual recovery time. So like that first
Yes.
week, there's all sorts of summoning and all sorts of fees from that. So yeah,
Yep.
definitely
And
send
how do
some
you think?
gardeners and miners over there, jump in the LPs.
Yeah. And
That's my
there's
plan.
a lot of ideas flying around on how to help the Asian market come into the ecosystem. That'll be an interesting endeavor. I think they're bringing on, uh, people that speak the language onto the team. They would need
Nice.
someone in South Korean and Singapore. I think Singapore is mostly English, though, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm
I've
not
had people from Singapore on the chat, and they said like Mandarin, but I think most of them actually speak.
I think a lot do speak at least some English.
Right, at least some. And so that you think that, do you think Serendale 2.0 will be popping? I still don't know what to do. I'm definitely going to go in the jeweler there. I'm not sure what to do though with the liquidity pools, because there's going to be some banging APR first few days, first few months, even like it lasts longer.
Because it's not just a BS governance token. You're actually getting the in-game token out of it, even if it is locked.
Right.
But if you believe the game is going to keep going and do well, then you're good to go. I mean, personally, the way I look at it is we have a great developer ecosystem surrounding this game. Like, and that's the other part. Like it doesn't even have anything to do with the game. It doesn't have anything to do with the team. The developer, the community developing ecosystem and community in general that has formed around this game is huge all by itself. Like, we own the IP rights to these heroes. They're ours. So if we wanted to create, like if you and I wanted to team up and make a video game our own, you're like, you know what, we're screw duels, screw this, we don't like that either. We're going to make our own.
We're going to make our own.
Do that and import these NFTs and all of the traits they have into our game and create our own freaking League of Legends game using these NFTs in the future. Like, that's all real.
Yes, an actual League of Legends level game, I think, will be developed in this ecosystem with our NFTs. Like, we'll be able to use our NFTs.
I can see it. It might be 3 years, it might be 5 years, but I could definitely see that happening.
I know. So just imagine what Jewel, the upside that's deflationary. It's depreciate. I mean, it's deflationary. It's being
Jewel.
We're up over
where you need to be.
Burned. What's that?
Jewel is where you need to be.
Yes, 100%. It's all Jewel. I'm like a Jewel maxi these days here.
I want Jewel split as much as possible amongst all four chains. Well, all four eventual chains, both chains right now, earning on both. And yeah, definitely. I'm going to be playing. I've always been in the pools on Crystalvale since the beginning, and I'll do the same thing on Serendale.
Right.
I'm going to, I've got a clay, I think I've got a clay jewel or clay crystal, one of the two, and I'm going to pop that on over.
Right.
And then I've got a little bit of clay that I pre-purchased over on the exchange that I'll pair with some of the stuff that unlocks, drop that in, lock up the rest of the jewel, and send across some miners and gardeners and get to work.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to do it. You're going to get in all the gardens.
Not all the gardens, but a few.
What do you think is going to happen with Jade? What if Jade pops up over $1 and Crystal's sitting at 15 cents or something?
So when they first went from Harmony and launched on Crystalvale, they put a ton of money behind it. And I want to say Crystal came out at $40 or something insane like that.
Or it just popped right up to 45 after they announced, at day 2 or something, they announced, or day 3, they announced that.
Well, I think people thought it was going to be the next Jewel, but they didn't realize that, no, that's an in-game token. It's going to match Jewel. It's not going to take all the value over to there and then move and stay there for 3 months so you can get rich. No, it's the in-game token. So I think that it might have a little spike, but if it does, honestly, I will be grabbing some of those. It's not going to go up for long and stay there. And if it does, it's going to bring Jewel with it. Or I'm sorry, bring Crystal with it.
Yeah.
Jewel is definitely going to go.
So one of the things that happened on that initial launch, and a couple of things we got to think about, is that the supply will be very, very, very low for Jade at first, because there's not a whole lot unlocked. There's just not a whole lot of tokens in existence. So at first, we'll have a huge shortage of supply. And you're going to have people want to get juicy 1,000+% APRs, I'm guessing. Maybe multiple thousands of percent APR the first days.
Quite possible.
Yes. And so, and what happened also with Crystal was that they announced that based off the amount of X Crystal you're holding, you're going to get entries for the Gen 0 raffles for Crystalvale. And so that was another reason why that's when it really popped on up to $45, because that's when I was like wanting to buy a whole bunch, and then I was like, and I started buying a little bit every day and like putting it in, and I was buying a lot, but not a little bit. I mean, for me, it was a little bit. I was ready to just dump 50 grand in.
Right.
I'm gonna win a Gen Zero. I was so bullish on everything. I mean, but I eventually dumped 50 grand in, and got hammered on that. So let's say Jade pops up to $1, $2, and Crystal's sitting at 15, 20 cents. What do you think? What's gonna
Then I expect that Jade will drop down and Crystal will come up to meet it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I think the Crystal and Jade are basically should have equal value. They might go off a little bit here and there. Like if let's say we go to Clayton, there's a ton of activity from those of us that came from Crystalvale, but we don't get a whole bunch of people from the Clayton community coming in. It'll die off over there, and people will continue on Crystalvale for the most part. I think there might be a balance to a degree, but I think that the tokens are eventually going to balance out. And then Jewel and Heroes are like the two value proposition in my mind for the game, right? Because Jewel is like the store of value. That's where you're going to get your not really they don't have a word for it yet, but essentially dividends, the passive earning. It's going to allow you to unlock a lot of things in game too. I think that they haven't really talked about yet, but they have lots of plans, and I think that like some of those unlocks are going to be important, which is only going to reduce the supply of circulating Jewel, and then it's not being emitted anymore, and it's being burned every day. So there's huge deflationary pressure on it. Like, I don't know. I think Jewel is going to go for a ride. I think there's a lot of potential.
My price prediction, if the game succeeds, right, and it doesn't, a black swan event doesn't happen, or
never financial advice,
right?
These are just my
amazing multi-millions of lost money financial advisors here that are YouTubers sitting in their homes,
right? Who have collectively lost millions of dollars,
right?
Financial advice from us,
right?
Part of your information gathering.
Yes. So in the long term, I agree with you. Yes, it's gonna be in parity with Crystal, the value of Jade. But in the short term, I think Jade's gonna pop probably. So what do you do?
Possible.
You've got a bunch of money sitting in the gardens. I'm gonna circle back to this question. You've got a bunch of money sitting in all the gardens, okay, and Jade and all the different. Now Jewel's a different story. Like I'm gonna be all over those Jewel pools. Okay, but the Jade pools, which will probably be paying a higher APR, what do we do? What do you do if Jade's sitting at $1, $2, and Crystal's sitting at 20 cents? What do you do? Do you pull some out and sell and take some profits, or?
I mean, do I have a magical bag of whatever I want so I can do whatever I mean, a $2 Jewel or Jade, I don't think is going to stick around very long. So I would take some profits at that point.
You would.
Oh gosh, yeah, dude. I mean, if its equivalent token is sitting at 15, 20 cents and it bumps up to $2, like that's not real. There's no real value proposition behind that's going to hold it at $2. So that's not going to last, which means somebody's going to sell and take some of that off the table. And yeah, that's part of why we're here, right? To make money a little bit, at least.
That's right.
Lights on.
That is.
So yeah. If I see $2 Jewel initially, I'm dumping a bunch of it. I'll buy back in cheaper.
Right. Even take the hit. So like, I'm wondering how quick Jewel's going to, Jade is going to spike, but who knows? There might be so many people afraid. There might be a lot of people afraid to jump in those pools, right? Which will make the APR even higher when there's not as much liquidity, but we're going to see a huge, there's not going to be a ton of Jade in circulation in the first several weeks.
Right.
And so in a lot of demand, but maybe not a ton of demand because people are going to be afraid of the pump and dump. And so a lot of people are just going to buy Jade, hold it, let it pump, sell it. Others will go into the gardens, let it pump, pull it out of the gardens, sell it.
Right.
Like that.
Now, mind you, like, I know everybody looks at me like I'm this giant whale. Even regardless of what I do, I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I
Because
know.
even if I do, well, I'm obviously going to sell some because I do have to pay bills. I have to pay the tax man.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I've learned a lot and I'm about to learn even more because I
Right.
finally submitted my taxes for last year, this past October, and I'm waiting for that audit love letter in the mail. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to sell some of it, but I
Yeah.
plan on securing as much of it as possible for the future,
Yeah.
because I don't want to get completely stuck
Right.
without all of my crypto in, especially in DFK. Like, no, the DFK's it's got wheels, it's got long, long legs.
Yes. So you think that people still to this day look at you as a big whale? Because when I hear you say things like, uh, you know, you're about to run out of money, I don't think of you as a big whale.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, because right now I'm not. Once this
Right.
stuff starts unlocking, I'm not as worried about the lights getting shut off anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's
So
not. It's definitely not what it once was. That's for damn sure.
right.
Plus,
Right.
it's stretched out.
I
So yeah,
worry
I
about you,
don't
man.
consider myself a whale, but it's a relative thing, and I know some people have put me in that bracket. I've never really thought of myself as one. Well, for a short while there, when
Yeah.
that locked jewel was worth ridiculous amounts, but they were locked, right? Like it's not like that was mine. It wasn't in my bank account, so I didn't even think of myself as a whale then, just because it wasn't
Yes.
real.
Right.
It was play
Okay.
token money.
And you didn't think it was ever going to come back to you.
Oh my gosh, no!
So
I got hacked. It was
how
gone.
much?
This is Web3. That doesn't happen.
Right. Man, I hope you just freaking prosper, man. So, okay. So I have like 50 questions in my head that I wanted to ask you all at once, but I'm such a rabbit trail guy. So, but one of the things I think somebody mentioned, okay, I just know DFK is going to launch on, okay. So I love this comment. I'm such a Cosmos fan. Do you think there's a chance that one of the DFK realms ends up on Cosmos? I was gonna ask you that earlier. What do you think there? Is that a possibility?
I could definitely see it showing up on an IBC compatible chain somewhere, which puts it on Cosmos.
Yes. Right. So EVMOS is like is I think if that's like a Cosmos coin, right?
I'm not sure. Is
And
that a
it's
separate
like
like layer two?
right, and I think that's the coin or the ecosystem, the blockchain that's built on Cosmos that will help connect Cosmos with all the EVM, Ethereum virtual machine chains. And
Okay. Is that the
yes, so I think there's other ways it can connect, but that is going to be a big breakthrough potential technology. So I have on my Kepler wallet, I'm still a little bit into the Cosmos ecosystem and I'm in a ton of their coins. And I know that
okay.
EVMOS is one of them. And it's
Yeah,
like,
so I just verified, looked it up real quick. It's basically the IBC endpoint for um EVM compatible chains. So IBC, it basically that EVMOS connects the root based Atom system to or whole ecosystem to EVM, all the EVM based chains.
right. So I could see that being one of the spots. I was talking to Crypto Baby 8. She was so confident that Phantom will be one.
Right.
And but I'm not so sure because if it's Phantom, then isn't it almost a lock for the Polygon ecosystem to get in?
Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, like
They kind of
the
said,
way this is gonna work is
okay,
basically they drop smart contract onto any EVM capable chain,
yeah,
and then it will be able to plug in to
oh,
IBC.
right. Oh, wait, with Phantom, you mean?
The IBC.
Okay,
So
right. Okay,
Phantom, what OS is Phantom? I mean, is it EVM
yeah,
or
it's the EVM. Phantom
then
is
yeah, this should be
Ethereum
able to connect to
V3.
if I'm understanding what it's doing properly, which
Right.
I may not be. But if it's actually just basically plug and play, you could drop this onto Phantom and then IBC now plugs into it, and poof, you now have a bridge between all of the all of the Cosmos Atom based chains and Phantom.
Right. I love it.
And it's baked into the protocol.
I love it.
This is how the networks connect.
Right.
I mean, did you know that like the internet we use today is actually like 40,000 interconnected networks? Way more than actually. But that's what the internet we use is. It's just a whole bunch of networks connected together.
So why
Now,
do we need like servers? I don't even get it. Right. So
well, I mean, the servers. So you need routers and switches and all that to connect all the networks themselves. The servers host the data and the websites and the games.
like Amazon is 50% of the servers, right? That I always hated that.
They do a lot of cloud storage. Yeah. So you can run like a virtual server instead of buying a physical server and plugging it in my office and running the server in my house. I can basically rent a server from Amazon and they provide the most reliable service, the best one, all the bells and whistles. So a lot of people rent servers from them to create virtual servers on which they build software, games, blockchain nodes, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what is if you had to guess, because there may only be 2 more realms, but you're thinking that we'll still be able to use the NFTs even on other blockchains, regardless if the realm is in the blockchain or not.
I think in 3 to 5 years, nobody's going to be talking about blockchain, and
Okay.
what blockchain you're on isn't going to matter at all. You won't even know what blockchain you're on half the time.
Wow. I love it. Right. That makes perfect sense. That makes
I mean, you think about it, like what is the major internet service provider for your local area? Is it Comcast? Is it Verizon, AT&T? Like one of these major service providers provides the internet to your location. And then from there it just gets subdivided out. So I
right.
mean, it's I don't know. These networks are all just going to connect.
I love it. Wow. So, okay. So I wonder if the next realm, until we get to that point, if the next realm is going to be Phantom.
Why would they stop?
I mean, right. It would be fun because Phantom, you can have your vampires and all kinds of stuff.
Right. But I mean, in reality, in the future, why stop at 4? If the game is still going, the community is still strong,
right.
the ecosystem devs are still building. I would not imagine that they would stop at 4. I would imagine they would just keep going
Because the
it makes
original plan
more
was
heroes and it adds more complexity to the game.
right.
So yeah,
The original plan was to keep going, but now they've kind of said they don't plan on doing more than just 4 rounds total. And then, but going off what you said, I believe that because the original game plan was to be on tons of different blockchains. So I could see them, they're just not wanting to think that far ahead.
that right there, I think, is where it's
right. And I don't want
okay, well, for now we need 4, and then that'll complete like 2
right
tiers it all the way up to the top. Then they'll focus on some other stuff, polish some stuff up, probably do some optimization. And then down the road, once it's like lean and sleek and really chugging, then maybe they add a couple more blockchains down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even blockchains at that point because blockchains don't matter. Maybe it's continents.
That's amazing to even think about. I love this. This is so fun. Okay. So,
I love how you're sitting here playing DFK Fight Club.
I know, right? We're playing. I'm playing this because you mentioned other people can build this game. Look how easy it is to beat. So you can just load up AI teams. Do you know how to do that?
I have not tried. No.
Okay. And it doesn't really take that long. So when you're in the DFK Discord, all you have to now, if you've ever played the game and you do loadouts, you can like save your teams, like have different loadouts, which are different teams that you save of 3 guys because there's different weight classes and all this and that. Well, the AI team, you can do 5 AI teams in all 5 of the weight classes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then you're just earning passive income and it's cost you literally nothing. because even if you lose, even if your AI team loses. So I just fought, Jules, this guy.
So how are you earning anything if it costs you absolutely nothing?
Because people, like, I just paid 11 crystal to do that match. The AI team paid 0. The AI team got this Jules guy, Jules Caesar, heavyweight AI. Okay, this guy, he even though I kicked his ace there,
Right.
he won tickets, and here's how many tickets he won actually. Okay,
wow.
let me show you how many tickets he won just for setting up the team. And when I say tickets, I mean the same tickets that you get from duels.
So you can put them into the raffle and potentially win stuff. Got it.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah, I knew this.
So if the AI team loses on that, he just got 90 tickets for losing, and he spent 0 crystal. I got 810 for winning. Now, if the AI team would have won that, he would have gotten 540 tickets. And I had one of my AI teams win. Like the first AI team that battled actually won somehow.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
So, and that other guy had to pay the crystal. So, and it's so easy, at least in my case, it's so easy to beat. Oh, I guess that's me. That should be muted. It's like I haven't even come close to losing yet.
Wow.
And so,
well, I mean, you do have all the heroes. Let's be real.
I mean, I've got a level 12 mythic perilous journey archer, and he's just super jacked on stats too. Like he's got to be one of the top. And then I bought a level 15 a while back. I bought a level 15 legendary perilous journey thief, and now he's level 16, and he's a beast. And then I do have a thief that his stats aren't mind-blowing for a level 14, but I've got the rare level 14 thief, and I'm just playing around, right? I've got different guys I've been throwing in there and doing the thief combo for the front 2 lines. That's been fun. But as far as adding an AI team, let me show you, because they make it pretty easy. Now when you've got a zillion heroes on the same wallet, it makes it a little bit harder, but it's still not that hard. You come here to play here. Okay. And you click.
That's too hard. I can't find that. Sorry.
On the Discord. You click play, and then it's going to take you to like your playroom, which pops up on the side as well. And you click Coliseum. So that's where all of the paid stuff is. Okay, when you click Coliseum, then you select AI team. So when you select AI team, it's just going to pull up all your heroes. In my case, I'm page 1 of 49 here. Okay, and so you want to look at the weight classes, and you can add 5 teams. And the first guy you click is on the front line. The second guy you click will be on the midline, and the third guy you click will be on the back line. And then you have to click OK. And if you look at, and that's it, then you're just earning passive income while spending $0.00, even if you don't want to play the game, which I'm going to dilute that, for people, because I'm sure lots of people are adding AI teams, but that's fine.
That's good though. That's healthy, because I mean, in order for a game to work, you have to have some bots out there at the beginning to play against, especially when you have tiers. It's why Splinterlands won. It's because they encouraged bots initially and had a whole bunch of bots running to make sure that you never had to wait for a match. That's huge. People don't want to wait for a match. They want to battle now. They might only have 5 minutes. They want to get 2 battles in or something real quick. They have to wait 5 minutes. They still don't get the battle. They're going to be pissed. They're not going to do that next time.
Right. And with duels, that's essentially what we're doing when you click on the matchmate thing for duels, is that you're playing with somebody's past team, not a live team.
Yep.
And I figured that out at one point. But anyways, and then the battle log, every time I just have it set on the notifications to only notify me, obviously, if I'm, but every once in a while, I wake up and all of a sudden my bot went off. But I've been winning. So you don't win quite as many tickets as you noticed for the fee, but I win every time. Now, some people said, like, who was it? Somebody was on saying that it's harder, it gets harder as you rank up. The AI gets more sophisticated and gets better. So maybe I won't be winning every time, but I kind of want it to get harder. It's like so easy. I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even look at the other guy's team. All I did was click Viper Strike every time, just mindlessly, and I just destroyed him. So I'm winning all those tickets, at least for now. I mean, that's how it's going. Right. So it's easy even to get going. And so on the weight classes, you come here to game info, and shout out to Bob. What's his name? He's on the chat in here. Where's he at? He was earlier. Umar, baby. I love it. So this guy, Bob Nothing. Bob Nothing, right here. Bob Nothing invented the, let's see, patch notes. Where's it at? Ranking system. So we've got the weight classes. You got baby weight, and all 3 heroes need to be level 1. Yeah. And so I just found 3 level 1 heroes and just threw them in there. Yeah. I didn't even spend much time looking at my heroes. And then lightweight is hero level 4 max for any one hero, and all 3 heroes combined can only be level 8 max. So you can go 4, 2, 2, 4, a level 4, a level 3, and a level 1, a level 4, a level 2, and a level 2, a level 3, and a 2, and a 2.
We get it, yeah.
Or 3, 3, 2. So
lots of permutations.
Right. And then you got middleweight, which is hero level 9 max, combined level 18.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Light heavyweight is 28. Hero level 14 max. So they all just go right up to that next 5 level, and then you just double that number. So if it's hero level 14 max, with a combined team of level 28, and then heavyweight is no level limit. So those are your 5. You put those 5 in, and then you got 5 teams. And you're only, when you go fight, like I just did, I came to play here.
And you could have, even if you don't do the heavyweight one, and you do one for 5 for each of the other 4, that's 20 teams actively or passively earning raffle tickets for you.
Well, right. So yes, you could just put in one loadout if you want, one AI team. That's fine, but you could actually have 5. Now, when you come to actually play, okay, you come back to this play, and you have to, I've got all these. I guess I need to dismiss these, or I think they go away eventually.
What is that?
So every time you have to come back here to play here, and then you hit play. Okay. And it takes you to your playroom. Okay. Yeah. And so if you actually want to play, you have to hit / choose team. So you have to have a team that you chose, because the AI teams you choose don't factor into this part.
Right.
And so you put in your hero ID, and if it's front, mid, or back, and then that will stick. And then you can save that team. I'm going to do loadout save, and I'm going to call this my main dogs, I guess, for now. Main dogs. And so my loadout just got, okay, there's 5 max. I have 5 loadouts. Oh, I see. So I already have 5 loadouts. I need to go in and delete some of my loadouts.
Not that big a deal.
Right. So
I'll delete some on you.
Because when you're in all these different weight classes, right, you want to have that.
But I get it. Like, you have that, and then you'll add heroes one by one to it, type deal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got it. And see how this grayed out, right? So this grays out every so often. So I have to come back to play here again and hit play. And then it takes me back to the playroom. And it's just as simple as that. You go to the Coliseum and hit fight. And then you if you've already been in the game, you start out you don't ever connect your wallet to this. That's what's so awesome. You never have to connect your wallet to this thing, to this Discord.
Dude, that's huge.
It's huge. There's no private keys, let alone private keys. It gives you, as soon as you start, you have your own Fight Club wallet, basically. And you send any amount of Jewel or anything, Crystal, Jewel, anything. And then it verifies that that's your wallet. That's how that works. So you send, and you can add multiple wallets by doing that. So you have your wallet address, and okay, well, now in that wallet address, you can also send in Crystal to the wallet address to play in the Coliseum. And so I can look at my wallet address. It's all these Discord commands. I hit / and it's, I think, balance. Balance. And then return. And it's thinking, and here's my wallet. I've got 113 Crystal. And because I'm just mowing through these level 11, paying the 11 Crystal, because I'm just like on a rampage here. Fight.
Right. Killing it.
I know. So it's so fun, right? And it's so easy right now that I don't even have to think about it. Now, some people earlier said that as you level up, because I did read up here somewhere in the patch notes, somewhere where you start with readme, different things, where he does, ranking system right there. Hello, ranking system. Hang on, maybe it's not ranking. Okay, right here. A player's ELO rating is represented by a number which may change depending on the outcome of rated games played.
Gotcha.
After every game, the winning player takes points, just like duels. So we're basically gaining a ranking over time. And so I guess the AI gets better as you play. But I think it'll still be fairly easy. But somebody said,
do your bots play into your ELO?
No, you can't. I don't think you can really play this game with bots that I know of. You're just playing other AI teams, and the AI gets better that you're playing as you rank up. And somebody said, Aphex, I think, said that it's like reads your mind. He got interrupted 7 times in a row, or something, because he's already way leveled up, I'm guessing. Right. So we'll see as it gets harder and harder as I level up. But for now, you might as well get all those tickets, baby. Okay, so circling back to, so that's Fight Club. It's super fun. Third-party development. Like you said, the development within the ecosystem is amazing. Much like what Gala Games can do or Veracity, I even kind of think that the DFK chain, for a new game developer coming into the DFK chain, I almost feel like it's better than what a Gala Games could do for you, or a Veracity or a Wax.
Well, plus the beauty of it is they could come in on their home chain. Like we could kick off Sarandale on Clayton, and there could be some Clayton developer or two where they're like, oh, this is awesome. I know Clayton. I can build it over here. Cool. So now it connects there, and then they just start talking to some of our ecosystem developers, and then boom, they get some help they need to bring it over to DFK chain too. And now those developers have become friends, and it just makes it that much more powerful.
Right. And they can access the entire DFK ecosystem potentially if they want to. They don't even have to, but if they want to, they can build a game that somehow can tap into the ecosystem and bring in all those users to their new game. And so it makes more sense if I was a game developer, I wouldn't want to go to Gala Games or wherever else. I'd want to come right here and dive into an ecosystem that's strong. And also the support that they'll get from the DFK team. Seems awesome. So I love the idea. Circling back to part of your vision, your heart is to help integrate all these different ecosystems with different projects. And that's also Crypto Baby H's vision. as well. I mean, part of her vision from what she said was with the Unity Guild.
Yep. She's trying to do some awesome stuff.
Is to have multiple gaming systems that can be combined, multiple, and somehow potentially, and that'll just help. Rising tide helps all boats. And if DFK is like the best one, that can only help DFK. It's not going to hurt DFK.
True story.
People are going to bounce DFK to go to some other game. They're going to do that anyways if some other awesome, amazing project comes out.
Hells yeah. I mean, that's just the way it works.
And so you might as well combine and help. That'll only help, I think, the ecosystem of DFK. And so I love that. Like, I love the different visions that different people have. And when we can come together and work together.
Yep.
Like even with YouTubers, there's gaming YouTubers that are 1 inch deep, you know, on 50 million different gaming projects. Like Hustle is one of my faves. Hustle with Crypto Banter. That fills a niche. Those guys are good for the ecosystem, whereas I'm more just pretty much only focused on DFK. So I can go all the way deep and be a DFK master, you know everything there is to know about DFK. That's always it. And that's a long process, by the way.
Yes, it is. There's a lot to know about DFK. Like,
right.
I know that there's stuff like there's tools and websites that I haven't even really explored yet as part of like the community ecosystem side.
Right. Like even Fight Club. Have you gotten into Fight Club and done a match yet?
I have not done a match yet. No, like I knew it was there, but like I don't spend that much time in Discord.
Right. And Fight Club by itself could be a 1 week long course to really master it.
Yep.
You could literally take 8 hours a day for 7 straight days. And maybe you'll get close to being a master probably not. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
So just imagine how insane this whole ecosystem is going to become as more development continues.
Yep.
And all the tools built on the ecosystem.
And with the crafting technology that they're utilizing, all the recipes, and like we've just started seeing it. Like we've seen the summoning side, right?
Right.
They still have to do buildings and weapons,
and
armor. And if you think that's not going to be crafted out Minecraft style, also, like that's a lot of replayability. Like the game's going to stick around for a long time. There's going to be people that want to grind for that best gear, and they're going to put in the hours and get with the assets they need to be able to build it. Like this game has, I don't know. I've got great hopes for DFK. I think it's going to be a huge long run. But again, I am just Matt. I am an ogre. I don't know shite, so do your own research.
Right. Well, and here's what can happen. Like the risks are Frisky Fox and Dreamer could die in a plane crash. They could go through a divorce and have a midlife crisis. The team could get in a big, hairy fight over things. That's the risk we face. So regardless of what you know or not know.
So basically we could wake up and get hit by a bus. Yep. Right. There's risk involved in everything. That's funny. We just had a conversation about this on Java and Jams this morning.
Yep. And really the only coin with almost, I would say, almost no risk as far as like surviving for the next decade would be Bitcoin. And close behind it, I would think, would be Ethereum. But because Bitcoin is just totally decentralized, essentially, you can't really kill Bitcoin unless... How could you kill Bitcoin? I've tried to think, could the whole entire world government try and shut it down somehow? Like, is that even possible? If they even tried to do that?
Like, I don't know. I don't think it's possible. I mean, China tried to shut it down.
Right.
They couldn't. They just had to go after people that were using massive amounts of electricity and identify them as Bitcoin miners.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's possible to shut it down.
I don't think so either. Now, obviously, there's risk that it could go way down in value.
Right.
For Bitcoin, but I don't think it's even possible to kill Bitcoin.
No.
Unless you nuke the world.
Right? Massive EMP from the sun, solar flare from hell. But you know what? I guarantee there's people sitting there with freaking lead-lined boxes and miners in it just to make sure. Like, there's some hardcore people out there. I guarantee there's some facilities that are hardened against that, to where it might be a very sparse network after that. Because pretty much all the rest of the communications.
So it's still, even if the world gets nuked, we'll still have Bitcoin, baby. And Ethereum is getting there.
Yep.
So those are your safe 2 assets, safest. So nothing is safe in crypto. Nothing is safe in the stock market either.
It's all a factor of risk, right?
Right.
It's a cost benefit analysis that you as an individual, each of us have to do and say, okay, well, this is the amount of money I'm playing with. And what do I want to do? Do I want to park it in something that's more like a blue chip where I know long term it's going to make money, but I'm not going to get rich tomorrow ever? Like it's going to take several years. But I know that at the end of that several years, it's a very high likelihood that you're going to be doing all right.
That's right.
That is what I would recommend.
And so I feel like DFK is like crypto's best kept secret that I know of right now. I'm sure there's other good ones out there, other good projects.
No doubt.
For sure. Other good projects, other good developers developing out there. But DFK is like crypto's best kept secret. And so when we assess the risk, there's obviously some risk, but most of the big concerns have been like fortified, and they've created such a strong foundation with structuring a company, and all that with Kingdom Studios or whatever, and leadership. They've done that in a very short period of time. Generally, this to get to where they are today, I would say would take, generally speaking, like 10 years.
Oh yeah, they've crushed it timeline wise. I mean, but
yes,
Brisky also was familiar with the space and brought in a bunch of people he had worked with before that he knew he could start a business with, right?
Yes.
So like business almost existed before DFK did, which is the way it really should be. And I shouldn't say it almost did. I'm sure it probably did, even if it wasn't like the official offshore account or whatever. They had plans, they had roadmaps, they knew what the first 12 months of this thing was going to look like.
Yeah.
Barring the market going sideways or things crashing.
A streamer who is like an executive with Goldman Sachs. And because he was close with Pieface, I guess he worked previously with Pieface or something.
Right.
Man. So that was a big step, I would say. And then they got this dream team. Like Hubert is the mad scientist behind the project. He's just that's kind of like when I think of Axie Infinity, which also has a great team. I love that project. And I think Axie Infinity, I'm hoping they'll be here to stay, because I think they're a keeper team, and they'll just keep developing and improving, right? But what Axie Infinity was lacking in its early stages was a Hubert. And
all right, you gotta qualify that, man. What do you mean?
So he's like the mad scientist behind the genius. First of all, behind the hero NFTs and the depth of that, the genetic genius part of it, but then also the economy within the game. So Axie Infinity has the 2-token system that just didn't create enough value for the Smooth Love Potion token. Mm-hmm. And so it just tanked, like so much massive devaluation.
Which is why DFK was the true first GameFi project, because they created a full ecosystem.
Yes.
Hubert.
Right. So like Fate and Arena, so the only other project that I was deep into as far as gaming goes, like in-game playing, became a pro basically in Fate and Arena, and was top 10 hero holder there. They had like zero at all whatsoever use case for your earning token. And so you couldn't even buy the heroes with the token, but then at least they brought that in to where you have to use the in-game token to buy the heroes.
Right.
At least they brought that in. But other than that, there's no use case. So it's just pure sell pressure. I love it. Yeah, super dream team. So crypto, one thing she just said too. So that's where Hubert's genius comes in. All the different things like that he does. I just like, we always joke that I'm building a shrine to Hubert. So
it's kind of creepy.
Although I wish I could have sat him down another week. I wish they would have given us another week for Dark Summoning to think that through a little more. Because I think if all he needed to do was somehow, some way, which he said wasn't even possible, so maybe it would have been a moot point, but somehow, some way to reward the people that have used crystals and stones on those heroes, because what I feel like happened, I talked about this in one of the videos, is that it's sort of the dark summoning disincentivized people to use stones a little bit, right? Crystals. And so it even caused me to be like, I couldn't get my mind fully wrapped around what to do, because I was the type guy, like, always use stones and crystals, like especially stones, the lesser stones, no brainer.
Right.
And
those are huge.
So it's like I would have possibly been willing to burn a lot more heroes, but it just, and he said it wasn't built to be like a big time go-to tool, the dark summoning. It's just there to be a tool. And that's great. So I love it. But what's happened is, because I think it's caused people to hesitate to use stones more, especially on the stones part, which is still a no-brainer regardless, but that has hurt the value of items in the ecosystem. So because it's disturbingly low percentage of heroes are summoned with stones. It's like, what the hell? People always at least use a chaos stone. Like when that guy comes
something.
out. Right.
Chaos
stone, because
we usually use them, but not always. There'll be sometimes where I want. Yeah. Like if it's two commons and it's just like a throwaway summon.
But even then, like if you're dark summoning, you got increased rarity chances and stuff, But like a chaos stone, if you think about it, it's the equivalent of about 35 crystals being used in 100 level ups. It's the value of one stone after level 100 is at least 35 lesser leveling up crystals.
What? Why?
Because what a crystal gives you is a 5% increased chance, a lesser crystal, a 5% increased chance to level your primary stat, and a 15% chance to level up that stat in the secondary growth. Okay. Right. What a stone does on every single time that hero is ever going to level up ever again, it gives you 3 to the primary class and 5 to the secondary class, plus 4 guaranteed stats. Boom, right off the bat. Right. So when you do the math, it's like after that hero hits level 100, it's as if you used 35 crystals. It's like so I think of the value of,
I got you.
Even a chaos stone is being worth 35 lesser crystals for a lesser chaos stone. Yes. So, okay. So there's so many awesome things we could talk about. One of the things here that Crypto Kissy said, or Chrissy, Crypto Chrissy, but if USA goes digital, okay, they can control what we can buy. Like this is what China has already done, right? With their CBOD or CBD or whatever, central bank currency.
Yeah, there's a lot of fears that we go and get very dystopian with it, and we need to be aware because that is a possibility if we do not speak up.
Right. And I think so. Here's my concern:
your senators and your representatives, like, make sure they understand where you're coming from. I think they're seeing that, but as with any time there is power that exists, there is always a self-fulfilling desire that is natural when you have power to collect more power. So of course they're going to want to see more. They're going to want to have all of the visibility. They don't want to have a dollar that can be passed without them seeing it. Of course they want that, because then they can make sure they get all the tax money, that everything's good to go, that nothing illegal is happening. But we as human beings deserve privacy. Right?
Yes.
And if we do not say that, they will take that freedom from us. So we must stand up for our freedom or we will lose it.
I love it.
That's
I think even if we stand up, they're going to take that anyways. I don't think we're going to be able to stop that.
I think there'll be a pendulum. Yeah. I think that, there'll be some dystopian stuff in the future, but it'll go back and forth and settle in a better place. That's one of the beautiful things about our country, is that we can do that just because the natural cycles of politics and the fact that in reality, politics can't keep up with crypto.
Yep.
The coders are going to be, I mean, there's a reason they're called day zero attacks, right? In a hacking system. It's because
Right.
those developers are constantly outpacing the antivirus people. Not
Mhm.
that I'm relating crypto and developers to antivirus, but that's just illustrating the way the technology can evolve faster than the silly rules to constrain it. So
Yes.
if the politicians decide to get too silly, there's ways around that.
Right. But they hide it so well. So
Yeah.
see what the banks have been doing right under our nose for years.
Hmm.
It's mind blowing, and there's just like nothing we can really do about it.
That's
So
fine.
I think we already have the CBC,
CBDC.
CBOC, and it's USDC. That's what I think. It's already in the bag.
I think
So that's why
basically through
I
back
think now
channels, you're
I don't
probably
like USDC at all. Like what they've done.
right.
I don't know. There's a lot out there on it, but I think USDC is probably safer than Tether in the short term, but I don't like either one of them. And I dislike USDC even more. I would have to probably say.
I think that eventually we will either see. Well, I mean, they're already working on a euro-based stable coin, and I think we're going to see a lot more
Oh,
alternative stable coins come out. I would personally think that the best answer would be a basket stable coin that algorithmically is tied to the CBDCs of like the top 10 economies in the world. Or
yeah.
something like
Well,
that.
so Binance BUSD is 100% one-to-one backed
Right.
the dollar,
Yep.
and maybe even more backed, like maybe even 1.1 backed, like $1.1 is actually
Right. Over
backing.
collateralized. I got you.
Mhm. Whereas with USDC now, it's all the way down to only 20%. It used to be way higher, but now only 20% of USDC is actually backed by the dollar. And that's been our fear of Tether all along, right?
Now, hold on a second, because that sounds like suspect.
The other
Just
80, no,
like
that's 100% fact. I mean, they do their monthly audits and everything. The
the
other
rest of it is
80
backed by what? Government
is
bonds,
backed by
paper,
government bonds and stuff.
debt. And you're telling me
Yes,
that Binance doesn't have any government bonds or any sort of anything. It's all
that's right.
United States dollars sitting in their bank account.
That's exactly right. With Paxos, and they're the most above board. Like USDC is above board as far as they show they do monthly audits that's transparent, right? So it's all right there. You can see now it's 80% backed by government debt and government
Oh my
bonds.
gosh. You know who else gets audited all the time?
Hmm.
TradeFi. Ask Bernie if you can get a scam going there. Right? I mean, I don't
Right.
it's I don't know. It's hard. Like, where do we go from there? Right? Because you don't want a whole bunch of BS regulation, which is, of course, the politicians' immediate go-to. Oh, we need to get more involved. We need to regulate more. That is not the right answer because any regulation needs to be done properly and in a
Right.
thoughtful way so that it is slowly incrementally getting us to where we need to be, not coming in with a giant paw and swatting everything down and stifling growth.
That's right.
I mean, in my mind, what we saw with the failure of FTX was the failure of 2008, the failure of the traditional financial system put on the blockchain for all of us to see
Mhm.
exactly how it all unfolds when Lehman Brothers fails or something like that.
Right. And
So what I think needs to happen is, okay, cool. So thank you for demonstrating your failures to us, traditional banking system. How do we regulate that into the traditional banks? And then any like centralized exchange, which in my mind are just the future banks. A future bank is just going to be a centralized exchange. And that's where I see that going.
yeah. And so I'm all for regulating the exchanges, the sexes, the centralized exchanges.
Yes.
Okay, so that
Real
should be
they
like
can and can't do with
heavy,
our money.
high level of regulation, like with how they are custodians with the assets, and that's a no-brainer. That's
Sam
obvious.
Bankman-Fried is going to walk because no regulation. I mean, there's cryptocurrency is massively regulated. Don't get me wrong. However, there's
Mhm.
no such thing in any law anywhere as a centralized exchange. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some loopholes they're going to jump through to get him off because technically what he created just it doesn't exist in the laws anywhere.
Yeah. Well, surely that man's going to jail. Eventually, it's going to come back and bite him so hard.
Needs to.
I mean, anytime, it's just like, I don't know if it's karma or the way the world works and how stupid people are. People are too stupid to realize, like, just think he could have been CZ level wealthy in 5 years if he just followed the golden rule. So when you treat people the way you would want to be treated and look out for the best interests of others, even over your own best interest, that's the secret to success. Okay. And so that's what CZ has done. If you ask me, I'm a big fan of CZ. And I think most of the hate that he gets is just BS, usually. And so he's just going to end up in jail with nothing. He's literally going to be broke one day. Just like the Wolf on Wall Street, he got super rich, he had the yachts, he had the women, he had it all, and then he literally had nothing.
You think CZ will be?
CZ's already there. See, I think CZ, especially before all this crashing happened, I think CZ was the richest guy on earth by a lot. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like, I think he might have been worth $500 billion. No one really knows, right?
Right.
But at his height, I know he was worth hundreds of billions.
Yeah, the dude is a beast.
And I still think at this point now, even now, he's probably still worth like $100 billion.
Right.
But probably not on paper. So anyways.
Hey, I do have to jump off here in a few. I had to go feed the kids.
Okay.
I can't really see the chat. I've seen a lot of you all popping up while we were talking. Hello, everybody. Great seeing you. Thanks for coming out and hanging out.
I love it. Okay, Ogre, we got to do it again because, man, we could go on and on and on and on about.
Oh, no doubt.
We could talk for hours. I love it. There's so many different things we could talk about. But you hop off, go feed the kids. I don't want to, because we're an hour and 16 minutes. It literally felt like
just flew by, man. Having a good time.
I love it. Okay. All right. You hop off. We'll do it again. Ogre.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you, brother.
I love you,
man. Having me on. It was a pleasure.
Yes. We'll see you. Okay. Bye-bye. Go ahead.
Right. Bye, everybody.
All right. Oh, man. So I'm going to keep going, by the way, Ogre. I'm going to stay live for a little bit longer, but I'll catch up with you.
I'll just jump
live. I'll catch up with you after the video tomorrow or whenever, but I'll shoot you a text a little bit later.
Sounds good, brother.
I love you, man. Okay.
Bad love, bad gadget.
Okay. We'll see you. Okay. All right. So I love that guy. Is Ogre just not the best ever? Ogre gets the golden rule concept, right? And so today I was talking with Mr. All Things DFK, Mr. Robin Hood, baby, right? Because I get to where I've just been thinking out loud a lot and all the time. It's getting to where it's so intense, the amount of messages I get on a daily basis, oftentimes from people that are like brand new to the game, even. So people who like need help setting up a MetaMask wallet and I'm good to help them. But man, this Mr. All Things DFK has a lot of vision already, and we might just be a perfect match made in heaven for what I'm looking for, as far as he's good with organization. And so I've been thinking eventually, right? So many guys, when they get so big as their channel grows, a guy like I Am George, he's basically untouchable. You can't even approach him. He's unapproachable. And he's got a team. Basically, George, which I'll never function of like, hey, I'm looking for content. I need content to talk about. I need content. I don't ever care. I'm never looking, because my end goal is not to have a channel to make money and da 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 da, and have content so that people will have clicks on my YouTube channel. It's about the reason why I started this YouTube channel was to help the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, to help crypto ecosystem as a whole, and to be a blessing, right? And so, like, for example, I would maybe do a hero class, like when we look at Fight Club. Okay, let's come look at back to Fight Club. And you've got Bogside Chats, which right down in the description, you can do the Bogside Chats hero class videos, for example. Okay. And they've got the Dragoon out, they've got the Pirate, they've got the Dark Knight, the Priest. And I still need to listen to these. So I'm not going to do a hero class series unless it's needed. So my purpose is just to help point out, hey, here's where you want to do your Fight Club series, because they're doing a really awesome, short and sweet Fight Club series. But if I needed to do that, I would do it. Like at some point, I had already thought about doing some like a training series on Fight Club, but boom, they did it. So, hey, guess what that means? I don't have to do it. I can just point people to it, right? It's not about me or my channel or making money. Now, and that was my mindset in business. When I started the insurance company, that's just how I'm wired, the brain in my brain. And this is the secret to success in business and in life and in everything is I saw, working with my ex-father-in-law in his insurance office, how much people are overpaying for insurance, and they can actually get better coverage with a better company for less money and save, like, in some cases, bigger clients, like thousands of dollars a year on their insurance. And it was like, I'm going to help people find the best deal for their insurance. And so that's why I started the business. And that was like and be also the best agent possible. Like, just have the best service, give the best information, educate my clients in the best way, and just be the best at what I was doing. And never for the first several years did I even think about making money, because I knew I'm sowing into the future. I'm sowing. And like a freight train, the key to success in life and in business is you develop such an awesome reputation where people trust you. They know you're going to do right by them. And you have that history and track record. And they're basically like, we're begging me to write their insurance and willing to pay more. I had multiple clients. So several times I would be like, a lot of times I would just right off the bat, I would say, nope, you're in the perfect spot. I'm not even going to quote you. Do not change your insurance. And I would tell them why. Okay. So just to save time, because I already just knew. So generally speaking, in the first 5 minutes of conversation, I already know, oh, I'm going to sell this or not right off the bat. So I'm not wasting my time quoting. So what most agents are doing are just like quoting people. They're just quoting and giving people quotes all the time. I had like a 90 probably ish +% close rate, 85, 90. And the average in the space of insurance for independent agents, at least, is 30 to 35%. And the average for captive agents, like a State Farm guy, is even less, probably like 20 to 25%. And so, because they only have one company, they're quoting with, I had the spread of over 30 companies I was quoting people with. And so I would just know right off the bat, okay, yep, I'm going to help you. I'm going to save you money. Let me quote your insurance. And I'd be all over the people that I know I can help, like white on rice. And then, but I wouldn't waste my time I treated everybody the way I'd want my mom to be treated, for example. And so developed such a strong reputation that I got so many referrals that I couldn't even handle. I didn't have to do any advertising or anything. It was just, I never had to hardly ever buy leads, referrals, or do any marketing at all whatsoever. In fact, I didn't even want to. It was all that I could handle. Okay. And so when you develop that kind of reputation, people are just throwing money at you, trying to get your attention to help them or to have, your whatever it is you're offering when it's worth it, when the value is actually there. Okay. And so where I could possibly see a way where value could really come in, where I don't even have to push it or market or advertise it as the channel grows, right? There's gonna the time I'm hoping the time comes someday. Yeah, I need an intern. Absolutely. Yeah, I need all the help I can get, people. Um, and I could add a lot of value for an intern as well, because that's the only way it's going to work in the short term. Because I can't really pay people. That's why I've been kind of held up to have my video guy, my video editor guy, who's a great editor, but he was just looking for work. He was looking to make money. Um, and so and I was like, well, I can't really afford to pay anything because I'm not making anything for one. But if somebody who's already a fan of the channel and believes in, the core values align, okay, we could partner up. And so this is where I became really good at team, having, business models and how to full A to Z run a business, how to have a team, how to do all that became like my number one focus for years. Okay. And just nailed it and found another guy that had already nailed it. And he basically combined all of the best business books out there into one system and process and all the strengths of 70, 80, 90, 100 books, business books out there, and created just the best system and process out there. It's called, it's just like covers a whole bunch of other people's stuff, though, is all it does. And he says that, just combines it. EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, EOS, there's a book called Traction by Gino Wickman. And that's like your introductory to it. And a lot of the business books I had read in the past, or I was all over Audible all the time. I used to be just constantly listening to books all the time. I haven't in a while though, because I'm always listening to YouTube now, crypto YouTube, all throughout the day, most of the time. And so, it just brought it all together to where it's almost like a fail-proof way of doing business. And so few people understand all and it takes years to learn and actually experience, multiple years. And that's what the DFK team is learning right now, how to help employees thrive, how to make it work. And actually that's not their strength of that system. They don't have a whole lot on how to make your employees thrive. That's like my own personal thing. But they do have good stuff as far as having people doing what they love to do and are great at. So if people are doing things that they're not great at and they don't like what they're doing, and that's a lot of businesses, you have people that love to do something and are great at it, and then people that like to do things and are good at it. You have people who don't like to do it, or maybe they love to do it, but they're not good at it. Okay. Or you have people that are great at something, but they hate it. But when you have people down here that don't like what they're doing and they're not good at it, man, that's not going to last. And so the goal is in business with employees and things is to have people doing what they love to do, and they're exalted in their position as well, and they're great at it, and letting them work in their strengths and only their strengths, and having on their weaknesses, because we all have strengths and weaknesses, right? We're all wired differently. And so all things DFK, lots of good things to come. He's really good at organizing. He likes to create things too. So that's like a perfect match made in heaven. And so I've always wondered, how can I possibly manage my time? And I knew this even ahead of time. Like someday, if the channel gets big, I've been thinking about YouTube channel for years upon years. If the channel somehow gets big to where it's impossible to ever be able to respond to all the messages that I get and things, how could I possibly manage my time? Because I'm like a time warp. That's just how I am. It's like absolute time warp. Everyone who comes to the house always says, even my own kids, yesterday as they're leaving, this place is the time warp. It's like an ongoing joke. Girls would say it all the time, all the stories. And so, man, I love it. So Vibiz, are you wanting to be an intern? I need to make a YouTube playlist, right, of all the best onboarding videos. Yes, absolutely. So right now is being one of the biggest focuses for me, is to get new people into the game. And also that's just a part of it. Right now, that hasn't been a huge focus of mine, but that's like my ultimate goal. But not just to get them into the game, but to get them all into the game, right? To become like, to have them drink the Kool-Aid, baby, of DeFi Kingdoms. And so all in and love it and be a master of the game. And so I love it. Reading and listening to Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. Interesting. Cool, man. Vibes. So, hey, if you are looking, if anybody ever wants to be an intern, absolutely, the door is open, and there could be value that comes back to you. Yeah, can't commit to an intern, but maybe this could be a role for someone, yes, that wants to help learn about the game. So, and here's where this could possibly come in, where I have a guy like Robinhood, who is this all things DFK, okay, he's doing some good things already. He's got a lot that people don't even know about. We've talked about it some. You want to make sure to follow this channel, this YouTube channel. He's also got a website, but his goal is to help people, same goal, help the newcomers come in, learn how to do everything, which is another reason why I also love the Unity Guild. There are so many things I didn't even get to with OGRE. It's hilarious. With the Unity Guild, right, that's also in the description below. Okay, they actually have a mentor program, and I'm not sure. Oh, okay, wait. So I wonder, I meant to ask Crypto Baby H. I'll ask her if she charges, like if the mentors get paid or not. And how she structures this. But one thing I could do is where Robinhood could set up a Google Calendar that we work together, and he could be, for eventually at some point, it'll be so crazy, so many comments, so many things going, that he could create a calendar where people can pay for one-on-one focused attention of anything in game. So, and when you think about it, if this game succeeds and booms and we get 100,000 subscribers and tens of thousands of views and people, messaging like crazy all the time, I can't even imagine, because right now I've got 650 or something like that subscribers. Just imagine. I can't imagine and basically all that, I am George or Coin Bureau, you just aren't ever going to get a response ever. I would like to still always have a team responding, for sure, always responding to help people, especially when it's people new to the game asking, or in-game questions asking. So that would be one thing. One goal I would have is with a team working with me is people that are willing to answer questions on all the zillions of messages and comments, but also where if it ever gets to the point, because I've already had several people have said they would pay me to help them, to help them with crypto in general. I've turned away over the last year or two at least 20 or 30 people, even before this channel got going. And I had thought about trying to create some way to organize that, but I just never could, because they were all, you know what, they all were wealthy business owners. A lot of them I just would direct a Voyager a lot of times. Is killing me. So I need the right people around me to help me with the process of how that could even be possible. And so I know that there's still people out there, not as much in a bear market, of course, but as the value is given, where people would ask to pay me to help them. No kidding. When I say 30, I'm not kidding. That's not an exaggeration. 30 people have asked me to pay me. And I would just do my best to help them for free. And I didn't ever take their money ever. Because once the value's there and there's tons of people that would want to do that, I could do that. Otherwise, I won't do that. It'll be free until the demand comes for that. And they're begging me to help them. I could also set up like how-to seminars where it's super cheap that people could just, and I could give them still individual attention within a limited number of participant seminars, and then still do daily I'd like to get to where it's more consistent daily videos someday as well. And if that demand ever comes, having a guy like our man, All Things DFK, would be awesome, who could just help organize my life, and even help like pre-screen those people, even handle I can help him get all the systems and processes set up where he could manage it, right? And so that's like a perfect team. I'd also love on the team to have a video editor, and we might already have one, right? This Eric guy is the bomb. Eric David Tippett, his website here. He's awesome. So he's the one that's helped me with my channel, and he's definitely into DFK, but he just kind of came across the YouTube channel a little bit. He was more looking for a job, he's trying to figure out how, because he needs to figure out how to make money. Like that's where he's at in life. Nothing wrong with it. I love this guy. So it's like, I'm not in a position where I could become your employer. And so I feel bad sending him more work to do, because it's hard if I need a video editor who's all into the channel and is is the type of guy who would naturally want to watch all the YouTube videos without me even, asking him to or something. Just already into the channel and want to just help with the same vision and purpose of just wanting to help the DFK community grow. And so out of, like, I had this music guy. Oh my gosh. This guy is so eager, and I just haven't connected with him. I don't know why. He's so eager to make music for DFK. Let me just find this real quick. You guys got to hear this because it's so cool. And I need to figure out how to make, let's see, my messages. I need to figure out how this DFK Tales, go on Twitter and follow. He's just an awesome Twitter channel anyways. And sorry, I don't read his stuff, but he's like, would be so pumped. He created this music. Okay, where's it at? I downloaded it on my phone. I'm gonna zoom out so you guys can't see it. Okay, here. I mean, it's not like it, but we had just talked about him, and he's just like, yeah, you can play this music piece that I created for free. He's just like so passionate for the community. I think that's him anyways, DFK Tales. I don't see the download. I don't see, or the link. Huh. And he's like, yeah, upload it. Upload it on your phone. Maybe he sent it to me on Discord and I forgot his Discord name. Probably find it there. But even Sam, so shout out to Sam, who creates music, was impressed. It's like really awesome. And he said he just took what Sam had already created and created his music. So he was wanting to do all this stuff. He works a 9-to-5 job though, and he's busy, but just wanting to contribute to the community. So that would be my vision as a video editor. And it's just like a natural flow and fit. And he kind of gets it to where he could partner with a guy like that. So we get a guy like Adventures in DFK and a guy like a video editor guy, and partner with some guys on the channel. And with a long-term vision, they can do this on the side, part-time type stuff. And then there's potential to make money in the right way. So I'm like super keen on that part, to where it's such a natural flow to where it's like, because I basically do it for free right now, and I'm happy to do it to help people get set up with their MetaMask. Like I'll always pretty much always respond. I'll get to your message eventually. If you message me with questions, I'll eventually, I mean, I hope I do. You know, sometimes I might start to check a message and then I get interrupted and I never respond. I hate it when that happens. And that happens a lot. Hey, Workhorse, I can't wait to get this man on the channel, baby. So I could see myself partnering with Sergeant Filthy McNasty, baby. As I think about it, Stronghold with DFKEGGSPERT has the onboarding content. That's right. That needs to be directed to. That's right. And organized in such a way. So like an onboarding course, like creating, that's an option. And that's essentially what I'd love to do, but it's so extensive. Like you could, like we said, you could talk extensively just on Fight Club by itself. It's so, and then when our boy Pervy Sage, baby, when the man himself, Mr. Workhorse in the house, I love it. I love it. When this man continues to create and develops the PvP and all the different things that are coming in game, PvE is coming. It's going to be so extensive to actually learn how to jump in and play the game and do different things. And it's like in steps. Are we all shady and nasty now? We're all shady and nasty. I love it, man. So Workhorse, I will send you a link right now if you want to jump on the stream, by the way, just so you know, anytime, at any moment, you don't even have to drop any alpha about what you're working on. You can jump on the stream at any split second, at any time. If it's in the middle of the night, I will get out of bed and I will get you on the stream at any time, baby. Yes. Hey, I love seeing how excited he was. So Workhorse, one of the things I love seeing, here's a perfect natural fit. Here you go. It's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Workhorse, why don't you just jump on the stream right now? I'll message you on Discord. How about that? Oh, yes, he's going to be on Chaos Cast, baby. I love it. On the 30th. After that, I can hop on Community Podcast. I love it. So this is why it was such an awesome natural fit. Workhorse was already a dev who totally believed in DeFi Kingdoms way before. I don't even know. Workhorse, were you already working for Wisdom Gaming, or did you go to work for Wisdom Gaming? Or maybe you went to work for Wisdom Gaming at a larger capacity. Okay, but he was someone who was already into DeFi Kingdoms, already into the game, and he just out of his natural flow of living wanted to, like, desperately wanted to develop PvP, right? Okay. Oh, you started Wisdom? Are you serious? You started the company Wisdom Gaming? I didn't know that. Really? Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, I can't wait till he comes on Chaos Cast. Yes, the DFK Kool-Aid tastes so good. So Workhorse, wow. So Workhorse had Wisdom Gaming then. You started it. Confirm that. Yes. Oh, you're the co-founder. That's amazing. So Workhorse, Wisdom Gaming, and Workhorse, correct me if I'm wrong, Wisdom Gaming is already, you have the largest arena for esports in America, right? Is that wrong? I've said that, but I haven't ever fully, an actual arena that people go to for esports. And it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, maybe at a mall. Not sure about that. Okay, I think. And so that makes perfect sense. A guy that already believes in the game, such a natural flow where he's the one creating PvP with how many devs? I was told it was either 6 or 8 devs from Wisdom Gaming developing, and maybe 3 devs or something with input and actually helping you develop the PvP gaming part of it. Okay, no. The one in Vegas is bigger. Okay. And our space is more of a big broadcast studio. It's in Mall of America. Okay. So it's a broadcast studio. Like, people, I know it's a big spot. It's a big time spot where people come and do combat or like esports gaming. Yes. Okay. So there is, I guess, a PvP arena larger in Vegas. Interesting. Okay. So he already believed in the game. That's who we want in the ecosystem, right? Developing PvP. Somebody who is already into the game. And so, oh yeah. Hey, we should do a Wisdom Gaming. Good idea, Sarge. We ought to go to Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and do a Wisdom Gaming piece. I love that. Hey, and I follow you guys on Twitter. I get all those tweets. I actually have the notifications on, baby. So Wisdom Gaming is always doing stuff with all kinds of games. Now they can be a piece of their own game. They can be a part of it. I love it. The trade room. Yes. Hey, I love this guy. The trade room, baby. Oh, yeah. In the Fight Club, right. Maybe he even sponsored in one of the tournaments that Boxside Chats put on, which right in the description below, baby. This is so cool. What's going on right now with DFK Fight Club, baby, and Tylus. I love what's happening here. Okay, we talked about that a lot with OGRE, who is on. OGRE had to go because I'm the time warp here. And so having people like that already believe in you, and then building your ecosystem out where you're allowing others function in what they love to do and what they're great at. And then that person is elevated, and like a butterfly out of a cocoon, baby, they're able to soar. And that's how you get even maximum production out of your staff as well, even from a selfish perspective. Okay, how do I get maximum output out of my employees in my business? By cracking a whip, right? And being a slave driver? Is that how you do it? And rule by fear. Like people actually think that's how you do it. They actually believe that. And so Tune Feed, thank you. Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. I love it. So you've already got a guy that's got a vision for DFK building on this project. How awesome is that? I cannot wait. We will be throwing house parties, baby. I love it. So I could get to where I partner with some different guys, all with the same goal and focus to help elevate the entire ecosystem of DeFi Kingdoms and games being built on the game, all that. Just help the entire ecosystem be a blessing and help the entire ecosystem, and even in the marketing side, get there more. So especially once I have a team created, I'll be able to create systems and processes where even for a marketing guy to come in and help bring more people into the ecosystem. So many ways we could build. So that's one thought. I've been deep in talks today with all things DFK, baby, Robinhood, about check your messages after flood of ideas coming your way. Yeah, I know. I see it. I saw it up here. 9 messages from Robinhood, baby. So there's so much we could do, so much potential. But I'm like, I get overwhelmed and then I shut down, when it's too much. So, but I could help create systems and processes to put that in place. So one thing I see for sure that I'll be doing probably is helping new people get into DeFi, get into crypto, get into into DeFi Kingdoms, and hold their hand through that process. And there'll be people just longing to throw money at me to do it because they trust me. When I have that type of reputation, when the channel grows and gets big and there's that type of demand. So first, the way I roll is you create demand. I'm not going to try and sell something without people salivating to buy it, first. And so that was one thing I had already been kind of thinking over time, is create where I can give them 1-to-1 or maybe like 6-to-1 attention. So 1-to-1, and people could just pay me by the minute, and create it, set up a calendar, boom, and do that, and still have daily YouTube videos. But also, man, my phone is just blowing up like crazy. Daily YouTube videos, and then have basically setting up all these systems and processes, and then helping people get into the game, like holding their hand with MetaMask, actually helping them through it, giving them one-on-one attention, or like 6-on-1 attention. Okay. So those are some of the things I've thought about that could come over the years if there's demand. But if there's not demand, there's so many different things I can do. So I'm like, never feel threatened by anything. Nothing's ever going to threaten. Like literally when I say I get some good devs in my back pocket, we could take over the world. I'm not kidding. Like we could create the best and have the best video editing software out there. I know there's a new one though that Brown Gent was telling me about. If someone else brings it out, awesome, because there's a million other things we could do with the right people. There's so many things we can do, and it's all. And what's never compromised is following the golden rule. Looking out. That's the key to success in life and in business. Not doing things for money, looking at the 5 minutes in front of your face, just trying to make money, trying to make a quick buck. Money isn't even a factor. So it doesn't even go through my mind with this YouTube channel. How much money am I going to make in this? Doesn't even process in my brain. It never did. Also, what doesn't process in my brain was being some big YouTuber, like a pride thing. A lot of people are big, it's like about their ego. A lot of these guys getting famous. Okay, no, there's a need. People need to know about DeFi Kingdoms. The team needed to be defended because it's the best team. It's the dream team of all teams, the best crypto project, and it's unwarranted accusations against them and unwarranted FUD that goes against the team. And people need help with crypto. That's why I have the YouTube channel. That's it. Okay. And as time goes, the natural flow of following the golden rule, it will come back to you. And it will be like a freight train. So my insurance, I made more money at one point, was making more money than I ever dreamed of making in 40 years. And I did it within 5 to 10 years of starting the company. And when I started the company, I didn't care about making money. It was just about being the best insurance, helping people save money in insurance. It's that simple. Simple. So the motivation of starting, like, what is the why? What is the motivation of doing what you're doing? It bleeds through. It's obvious when people do it for the money, and people do a business for a money, or people do a YouTube channel just for the money, or it's obvious. Whereas when someone is here to be a servant to the space and be a help and a blessing, that's the key to success in life and in business. I love this. I love having Workhorse in this chat, man. Hey, there it is. If it's needed, right? If there's already a true DFK, what is a Sherpa, though? You're going to have to tell me, Workhorse, what is that? I love it. If we build it, they will come. As long as there's demand. Yes. And how do you create demand? By adding value, being a blessing, getting people to feel confident and comfortable about whatever it is you're selling or doing. I mean, we could do sales workshops too. Okay. So I'm glad to hear it. Another question for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, working with DFK team so far has been a 1 or maybe a 2 or 3. So I think so several times Frisky told me that he's brought it up at several different times to the board. To me. So that also could happen. This could transition into where I'm on the team with DFK, and all of the conversations I've done it with Frisky is that I would do it for free until recently, I'm going to have to figure something out. But I could do it for very inexpensive and like locked jewel or something to where it doesn't put them out at all in the short term. I can still get by for another 6 months to a year. And I could figure out a way to make money on the side, piggybacking off of being an employee as well. Like in the type of employee I would be this is where it's tricky. Where if I could be sort of like an employee without officially being an employee somehow, to where, because obviously if I would do videos for DFK every day and I'd be reaching out to other YouTubers and trying to get on their YouTube channel as a DFK representative, and getting on their channel, things like that. That would be huge. That would be a big part of my focus. And I could figure out ways to where, in a really good way that everyone feels good about it, a way to make money on my own without having the team pay me much, at least, at all, if any. I could probably figure out a good, awesome way where it's zero about the money. The money just comes in a little bit. Okay. So there hasn't been, like, we were talking real serious, a little bit more serious about it, I feel like, months ago with Frisky, where it seemed like he was a little more serious, but then all the crap happened. First, it was the DFK FUD, or no. First, it was it was right as the DFK FUD was happening, was when we were most serious in talks, and Frisky like put out the vote if he should leave the project, and then the Terra Luna happened, and I just became a mental head case. But definitely things like this would certainly help me get out of my own funk when there's a purpose, right? I fulfill a purpose. Okay. If I had 100,000 Joule, you lock it for 3 years. I almost hit on this earlier. So not all of it. I would lock in for 2.5 to 3 years. So anybody considering locking Joule, I would consider 2.5 years, because that's when the next Bitcoin halving comes, around that time frame. And that might be the optimum time to take some profits, to be able to take some profits. But I would not go any less than like 2.5 years. I would go for 2.5 to 3 years, or don't go in at all, because I don't see enough value even to put your Joule away for a full year. I don't see enough value in doing that. I would rather just put my Joule in the pool, like pool it with USDC or some of the other pools, Bitcoin or USDC or Ethereum, something like that. Or just stake it in there and earn the rewards. Hopefully the rewards, like as the activity ramps back up, because I think a lot of people are taking breaks on summoning different things. When the activity ramps back up, that's when we'll be earning more rewards, when more summoning, more things like that. So I definitely will put some for 2.5 years. I'm going to go, because I already went in about 21,000 in for 3 full years. Then I'll put some also in the Serendale 2.0 jeweler for 2.5 years. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So what did Vibes ask? Oh, maybe Vibes was asking Workhorse. That's hard. Honestly, chemistry, people, fun, quality of work is like a 10 with a bullet. Okay, wait. Maybe I read this wrong. I'm an idiot, Vibes. I'm sorry. I thought you were You actually even tagged Workhorse. I'm a total idiot. Another question for you on a scale of 1 to 10. Working with the DFK team so far has been I thought this is my dyslexic and my inability to read people. I thought by this Vibes was asking me on a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances or have I been in, what have my talks of working with the DFK team has been? Okay, sorry about that. That's hilarious that I just explained all that. Okay, and so as far as honestly, chemistry, people, fun, quality of work is like a 10 with a bullet. I love this. So here it is. Someone who's working with the DFK team currently, Workhorse, chemistry, people, fun, and quality of work. Like, I don't even know what else to add. He gave it a 10 with a bullet, baby. I love this. Helping others is so rewarding, and more so in this project where I was shown so much love by strangers when I started. That's right. Like, the community is awesome. But it's still like for someone who's never been in crypto, doesn't even know what a MetaMask wallet is, it's quite an undertaking to get them in, right? And so if somebody really wanted to get in, there's so much to learn even now, let alone when all this stuff comes out. I love this. Trying to give back. Yes. And that's what we're doing here, baby. Okay. Why did you stop selling insurance? There's a long story to that. I am kind of a quick start guy. And so I had created such a crazy workforce where I kind of worked myself out of the job, kind of. And it made sense at the time just for me to go in a different direction with my cousin, who I brought on to become my partner, and with a couple of the key employees. Like, we were coming to a head to where what happens a lot, these are more lessons learned. And I'm real sensitive to every, like, what is going on with the employees, how their quality of life is, and just how they're doing personally and things. And so, and also, it's important for me to be like really connected with my team. And it just kind of got to where I was doing other things. I had just gone through a divorce, and so I was all over the place, for one. And so, but I kind of set it up to be where I didn't have to be there all the time. And I basically had it running itself. But I lost the respect prematurely, especially of my staff. And there would just be like, they would bitch about me or make fun of me or whatever. And so when I came back in to the seat and I got back in the zone, so I was gone for a while and kind of let the business run itself. And I was still present some, like, regularly on messaging and things, and even in the office some, but not as much. And so all these mindsets developed, and my cousin, it even kind of got into my cousin's head, who's like my brother, and we were so close. So it was either going to be a hairy mess. And so I'm back in the seat, and I'm like wanting to send the train in a certain direction. And they were like on a different page. And so I just quietly said, "Hey, why don't I just sell?" Basically is how that. And at the time too, I was, a lot of different things made sense where I was just gonna live on crypto, and I knew that he always really wanted to own that thing outright anyways. um, but he was like an awesome partner, like a brother. But when it's like they just didn't get the direction I wanted to go. And instead of causing a lot of friction within the business potentially, because I was even about ready to fire our most important employee that we had kind of made like a partner kind of. And whereas knowing she's really good, but sometimes it's not the right fit for the job anymore. And she just got to where too much, she wasn't being respectful, and like I had elevated her too quick, I think, is also. And so there's some of that happened. And then when I saw that Greg, deep down, my cousin, um, it just made sense for me to quietly bow out. So, and I was good. I'm a quick start guy, anyways. I'll just go do something else. And at the time, I was actually in Africa running an orphanage. Okay. So doing the system, right? But doing the EOS system for the orphanage and school, full blown orphanage and school in the poorest area of Kenya, Africa, with no electricity. Like, that was an absolute shit show, like they all are. And trying to save this thing from dying. It was just about to die, basically. But it was a large, 350 people, students there at the school, and like 250 living there in the orphanage. That was nuts. So I was helping with that. And then it just got to where, because I really believe in the founders and their vision, but man, that's a hairy, long story too. That's messy. It's messy. So anytime you hear orphanage Africa, they're always going to be a scam if they're trying to raise money. Almost always. Very, very few are ever going to be legit ever. Very, 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 very few. Hey, someone's messaging me. I love it about EVMOS. I love it. Okay. Sherpa, a specialized guide that helps people navigate dangerous and unforgiving terrain. I love it. I love this. A specialized guide. Sherpa, a specialized guide that helps people navigate dangerous and unforgiving terrain. Perilous Sherpa, love it. Starbuck, workhorse. What do you think will be better to have? A hero with a transcendent ability or two elite abilities? Huge question there. That's alpha type question. Starbuck. It all depends. Context. Is this PvP or PvE? What kind of enemy are you facing? What traits does that enemy possess? Do your genes counter those traits? Which ones look cooler? It's endless. That's awesome. I love it. PvP, last two heroes alive. I have one Archer Earth with Transcendent and active 1 versus a Dread Knight Lightning with active 2 elite and passive 2 elite. Archer looks cool. Cooler, huge arrows. Archer looks cooler. We go with Archer. I love it, man. It's got the Transcendent, man. That's got to be... It's got to be the Transcendent, right? But it's close. I'm guessing that's a close call because the Dread Knight is the advanced class with 2 elites. I mean, the Dark Knight. I said Dread Knight. The Dark Knight. Yeah, an orphanage. Grady is the man. Yeah, you. I'm the most interesting man in the world. No. You guys would not believe. My life is just nuts. Okay. I love this. You would not believe the Kenya Africa stories. you would just not believe it. Okay. It's so crazy. And what was so crazy is that I went there and just turned it all around and actually saw the results. And it's still all the systems and processes that I put in place, maybe not all of them, because I had to step away from that too, because of the founders were just so, but I still love them and support them. But they're tough to work with, and so they almost just ran themselves into the ground, let alone all the corruption and insanity. And they have like no money. It's crazy. They've got no money. They're so broke. Um, it's crazy. And I kind of understand why now. And I get them. And I would say they're totally legit. They just, that's a long, long story. Okay. Yes. New hero class is incoming. Nothing but positive vibes. I love you, man. G Rhythm. Okay. It's awesome that Jewel is holding strong while BTC and ETH keep going down. Yeah. Where are we at on the price? Hey, I love it. It is holding up. I've been wanting to buy the dips. Hey, you're right. It's way holding up. Dang, it's gone up today, right? Wasn't Jewel down 25? I bought some earlier for 25 point something cents. Okay. Oh, and you know what though? That's wrong. Hang on. That's going to be wrong. Let me look at, don't ever look at CoinGecko for your Jewel price. I always just look at Adventures in DFK. Okay, 25.42. That's the real price. Don't ever look at CoinGecko. They're looking at the dexes on Harmony blockchain and stuff. Okay. More than doubled my EVMOS bag with the high APR. Happy I sold half to Jewel recently before dump. Okay. I have a bunch just staking in there, man. I haven't really sold any of my EVMOS, or I did sell some of the Cosmos that I had, but it's all staked, for 21 or 28 days or however long. And I just go in there every once in a while and compound it. Yep. Polygon is a very much a potential. Yes, I think Crystal's going to keep going down, is my guess, in the short term. Now, in the long term, I'm still very bullish on Crystal, but not in the short term. So I've been selling all the Crystal as soon as I get it, right, into Jewel, and then going right into the Jewel USDC compound garden. And so, so I think I didn't get to finish this earlier with OGRE. I think what's going to happen on Serendale 2.0 is Jade is likely going to pump, even if there's lots of people going to be hesitant to ape in to Jade, I think, because based off what we've already just gone through. But even still, I think it's going to pump because of the pools and just a very low circulating supply of Jade in the early days. So I don't know what to do. I could see Jade pump up to $2 or something and Crystal sitting at 20 cents, 15 or 20 cents. I could see that scenario. And then like, where are we even going to be able to buy it at? Like what value? I don't even know how that's going to work, actually. So I'll be live as soon as that thing launches. You can guarantee it. I'll be live and we'll be right on that DEX ready to buy some and looking at the pricing action for sure when that goes live. So I'll want to get a piece of those pools. I just don't know how much. I'll definitely be game to get in heavy to the Jewel pool. So if I had 100,000 Jewel, I'm going to put a lot of that into the pools. So I'm going to pull out of this pool I've got going. You know, I'm in this Jewel USDC pool as soon as, for now. So as soon as Serendale 2.0 goes live, I'm going to pull all of this out, all of it. And I'm adding to this. I'm just compounding rewards and in-game stuff in to this pool. Okay, and I want to hit on liquidity as well here in a bit. And what's going on there. Let's hit on that and think some more on that. So as soon as Serendale 2.0 opens, I'm right out of this. And I do want to send some to the Clayton blockchain ahead of time. So I want some money there right off the bat, ready to buy the DEX as soon as that thing goes live. But I'm going to be hesitant to go too crazy into Jade because we'll just have to see where it's at. So if it's anywhere near the price of Crystal, I'm going to buy some immediately and then plan on it pumping because of low supply and a huge, crazy emission rates will be happening right there. You see this emission rate goes down over time, slightly, I think, based off block size and also immediately most of the jade, like 96% of the lot of the jade that you're earning will be locked as well. But we're still going to be wanting to make, it'll be likely as it was here. I'm guessing it was like 6,000% interest the first day, and then it was 4,000% interest for several days even. And then it was over 2,000% interest for weeks. It was over 1,000% interest for months in here. And then it's just steadily come down, right? And that's how it's going to work there as well. Okay. And it's an algorithm that they create. So I'm definitely going to want to be in the Jewel pools. There's going to be all the same tokens that we have in these gardens, all the same ones. So we'll be able to go Jewel BTC. I'm going to jump in that. And I'm going to go dollar cost average right now a little bit. So I'm still planning on a pretty cataclysmic crash for Bitcoin and everything in this whole ecosystem. So, but now's a good, I told myself once it gets back below 16 grand, I'm going to buy again. And so I'll buy some Ethereum. The hacker, the FTX hacker, who seems like was probably Sam Bankman-Fried himself, bought a ton of Ethereum, largest Ethereum holder in the world, or one of the largest, and now has been selling it and buying Bitcoin. Okay. Okay. And then, so that's what I'll be doing for the pools. I'm going to be going in pretty much all of the Jewel pools. I'll go in all these pools is going to be also on Serendale 2.0. And then I'm going to have to figure out what to do with all the Jade pools that they've already mentioned and talked about. Okay. Also, so with liquidity and items, value of items, let's review what I'm doing, because a lot of it, again, follows the stone carver. And so what I've been doing, let's refresh. Yes, I want to get Dreamer, and so Dreamer's going to be in Miami, and he's told me, Dreamer told me, I should have maybe I did screenshot it, that we were going to have a bromance together. I was like, you're speaking my language, baby. I can't wait to have Dreamer on the channel. Oh my gosh. And we'll be dreaming. about all the things that we can do with DFK. Okay, so when is this stone carver is coming out soon? So what I do is I follow the market data here on Adventures in DFK. So let's do this. Yes, Starbuck, baby, Miami. I love it. I cannot wait. We're going to be bunking together. Starbucks going to be my cuddle buddy. We're going to spoon on that bed, baby. Okay. So, and Mosh, all the guys, Wiggly, Piggly Wiggly, or whatever. And Rock 808, baby. He's probably doing a video now. You know, he doesn't like to do videos at the same time. I didn't even think about it because OGRE, he's so hard to get on. He's just like, hey, I can jump on tomorrow or Tuesday. You tell me. And it was like, today was better for him. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. Okay. So gold, wow. Gold continues to drop. So now's a good time to buy some gold potentially. And you'll probably from here, like we need another decimal point here. Because I think I'm going to talk to Nine Dwarf about adding another decimal point to gold. Because I don't know how close it is to 0.2 versus 0.3. Because it's taken a hard hit. But we will see a little spike in gold, probably a 15%. See, less people are doing the stones, but there is a demand still. And so I'm holding my items, not selling until the stone carver comes out. And then you'll be able to craft the stones, or you can just buy the stones. So when the stone carver's out, you can literally just buy the stones. Okay, sometimes it just needs like to be refreshed. Wow, is the lesser chaos stone? I feel like it's not updating. I don't think it's this high. Unless maybe it is. If so. So the craft price of the lesser chaos stone is somewhere around like 2.4, I think, ish. The API probably just needs to catch up. The crafting cost for the mite stone, I want to say is like 3.8. Yes. What's up, Johnny Smith? Okay. So what's going to happen is now's the time, and over the past 24 to 36 hours has been the time to sell the stones. So what you can do is I hold my items when it's about 3 days left or 4 days left until the stone carver's coming. I start holding the items, accumulating items and gold. Then when the stone carver comes, I dump the gold or craft the stones, but you can just dump the gold in the items and then just buy the stones with the trader, because the market with the trader, this is with the trader versus the craft, comes to parity. And sometimes it's even cheaper to come and sell or to buy the stones on the trader than it is even a craft, because people like oversell them. So you want to front run the market. So if anyone, I already sold off all my chaos stones. So I'll just start selling about a day and a half before the stone, like when the stone carver has been gone. This time it was another 7 days. So when it's less than 2 days out, that's when I start selling the stones. Okay, then I'm going to buy some stones when he comes back or craft them. And as I watch those items rise, though, I'm going to sell my items. and my gold. But right now is actually a pretty decent time because it's been down significantly, and it's down even more today. So a lot of times what you'll see is people are getting a little smarter and they start front running the gold. They know that gold's going to pump and they're going to need the gold for the stones. And so they'll start buying the gold ahead of time. And so a lot of times you'll start seeing gold go up as the stone carver is about to come out. We don't see that right now. So I'm just going to buy a little bit of gold right now. And I did this the other day. I think I bought like $20 worth. It's like not a big deal. Okay, wait, let's see. $20 worth the other day got me 318,000. Now $20 worth, because I'm not earning much gold on this account at all. So now $20 is only giving me 276. So maybe it popped yesterday, because when I bought like a day and a half ago, maybe I bought $20 worth of gold and I got 318,000 gold. So it's already come up. I don't know why. Maybe something's off with the site here on Adventures in DFK. That's possible. Oh, am I not logged in? That's why. Hello. Okay. Maybe that's why. Now let's come back to the market data. Logs you out every once in a while. Yeah, it still says it's down over the 24 hours. Interesting. So over the last, like, little over 24 hours ago, someone had to have pumped it up quite a bit. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. And then, so I start accumulating. Now, up until the point when the stone carver comes, I'm selling my items. I'm dollar cost averaging out my items during the time span that the stone carver is there, regardless of price. And I keep selling, especially when the stone carver is about to go. I'm selling. I'm buying stones. Okay. And then when that stone carver leaves, if he's going to be gone for another 7 days, I'm selling items because they're just going to be heavy sell pressure until there's more use case for the items. Okay. When more use case comes for the items, this will change. But for now, when the stone carver, when he's about 3 days out or 4 days out, that's when I stop selling. So every day, so once that stone carver leaves and he's gone for 7 days, every day, like throughout the day, like maybe just once a day, I'm selling those items until the stone carver's about 3 to 4 days out from coming back. Then at that point, we find a bottoming, generally speaking, happening somewhere in that area. And I don't want to sell at the bottom. I want to hold those items for a few days, and then sell when the stone carver comes back. And there's demand, use case for the items and the gold. Okay. And so, and what we've seen with stones is that people are a little better at pre-planning that. So we don't see the stones go up as much, but obviously they still go up. So you still make a little bit of money that way. So when we look at this market data and we hit carving receipts, okay, wow, it really is. Dang. That is like, so if anyone has chaos stones, you don't want to buy that because you can get a strength stone for less. You can get all these stones are less. But look, it's still not, you're still up if you sell now. So earlier I sold the last of my chaos stones, and man, did they pop back up. See, it's still a difference. But as soon as that stone carver hits, every time without fail, unequivocally, it's going to be instant parity. So to craft a vigor stone, 3.7 joule. And the value of all these items you're crafting with, right? So you got to have 50 Gaia tears. You got to have one of these health vials, and the cost to craft that health vial. So the value of all these items. Okay. I also, what I do, you could come in and do it right now, but you're going to want to have these fish, right? The sailfish and the swift thistle. It might be too late to get in and get it now, but if you're going to need it, you're going to need it. So you want to get that ahead of time, but it's probably too late. So if we look at the market data, we're going to see those items. You want to front run those items ahead of time, because we're going to see those items go up at least some. Okay. You might be good still to get some swift thistle. So the other night, I bought it. So when the stone carver, as soon as I stop selling my items, when the stone carver is about 3 days out, I also start buying some of the things that I'm going to need if I want to craft some stones, such as swift thistle. So right now it's at 0.32 joule. Okay. We'll probably see that go up maybe to like 0.5 joule or something. Same with, okay, sailfish is down. So I'm guessing probably not a bad time to come and buy some sailfish. I'm surprised gold is down. It just must be that someone bought a bunch up yesterday, like over 24 hours ago. So I know they definitely bought some up. So not a bad time to come get some sailfish. And then the other awesome part about this tool, when you're looking at the swift thistle and sailfish, so right now you're actually better off to buy the swift thistle. There's an ARB opportunity actually. So you're better off to buy it on the DEX than it is to buy it from the vendor. But that changes. It's not always the case. Okay. That's why that tool is so awesome. So I'm not talking about a bunch, just maybe like 20, because you got to look at the liquidity as well. So this is okay. The price impact, which is the slippage, is only 1.17%, which is pretty normal with this kind of thing. Now, the more liquidity that comes in, if more people were creating liquidity for these items, which would be awesome for everyone, we could do more volume, but you can't do a ton of volume. Like even with the stones, with the chaos stones, there's hardly any liquidity. You can't really sell more than 3 to 5 without just massive price swings where you're hurting yourself doing that. Okay. Okay. So that's what I do. And I think I do still have a few stones left to sell. So I might as well sell them because they're definitely going to be cheaper to buy here in just a little bit when that stone comes out, when the stone carver comes out. So I don't have much. Okay, that's a regular. Maybe I did already sell off. Yeah, that's right. I did. Right before I got on with OGRE, I went back in and just sold the rest. So I start selling stones about a day and a half ago or so. Like when there's 2 or 3 days left, sometimes even 3 days left. Actually I did this too. Even sometimes 3 to 4 days left before the stone carver is coming back. That's when you start dollar cost averaging out of your stones. As we see unless, depending on the value. So I get on here and look all the time. And if I see, like right now, in this case, looking at this, if I had any chaos stones, I for sure would be flying in here to sell these because it's double the price. You get in just a few hours, you'll be able to get the same chaos stone for half price. Okay. And so that's kind of become my new regiment I've got going. Yeah, DCA in, but don't forget to DCA out. That's right. You don't just dump it all at once. So unless like the sky is falling and you know it's going to happen, different things. There's different times when you just want to boom, fire sell everything out when you know it's coming. Every once in a while that happens. But even then, we thought that was happening and there was a massive short squeeze that artificially pumped the market. So that's now what we deal with in today's day of crypto, is artificial pumping due to short squeezes. But on a long-term hold of a coin, and you want to take some profits, the way you make money in crypto is by dollar cost averaging in little bits. And then you dollar cost average right on back out little bits as you make money. And progressively over, OGRE said a lot. He was on. It was so fun. In fact, I even want to go back through and listen to it again myself. Yeah, looking forward to the item. So when Profession 10 level quests come, which is going to be coming, okay, I'm guessing in less than a month, hopefully, maybe not. And we got another setback happening. So they're having to focus on getting everything squared away with Clayton blockchain. But when that comes, right, that's when anyone who's providing liquidity, the other option, you could just keep providing liquidity on your items and earning money on all the trading fees, right? So, yeah. I'm living the DFK dream. I love it. Yes, because Zabu, you're working on a channel, right? Most noted, yeah. Yeah, congrats on the Gen Zero. I love it. I know. Zabu won the regular summoning raffle, not the dark summoning, the regular summoning raffle with 4 raffle tickets. Unbelievable. I wouldn't want it to be anybody else, baby. I love you, man. Vibes. Okay. I love it. Johnny Smith. Okay. How do you provide liquidity? You know how to get in the gardens, right? On items. Okay. It's this exact same spot. You just do it with the druid and it stays with the druid right here. So you create a pool. That's simple. And you want your non-divisible items on top. So one good way to do it is if you want to hold the items long-term in gold long-term, you can provide the liquidity with items in gold. And you want your non-divisible items on top, the ones that you can't split. You can't have half a rune, for example. Okay, you can do it with any pair. The largest pair right now tends to be with Jewel, which surprises me. I was thinking that gold might overtake this for people that want to hold the gold. I don't know. So then, let's say I wanted to do 1,000 years. That would be with 60,000 gold, looks like. And then you hit supply. That's it. That simple, baby. How do I block user? Okay. Better than the lottery for sure. I love it. Yes, it's that simple, Johnny. And then if it happens to not show up, if the liquidity, I think they've already fixed it though. So I don't even think I need to say that. But sometimes then when you do that, like at first when I did all this, then you come to the druid, normally you're going to see all the liquidity pairs right here. And that's where you can manage and withdraw. Like instead of manage liquidity and rewards pool, it'll say withdraw this pool or whatever. Okay, because this liquidity pair is in the gardens. So at first it wouldn't show up in the spot, and you have to import it. You have to hit import because it's still there. You just don't see it, and so people freak out. So then you have to import the pair, and the pair, like the coin or the if you're doing like Naproot, and then that's where. So I don't have liquidity. If I did have liquidity, it would pop up and it would like say show liquidity in this pool, or something when you do it this way. But like the Naproot wouldn't even show up either. So to get that to show up, I think like I actually went into and got the address for the coin, the native address. I don't think you have to do that though. You can just hit inventory and like add token like this and add it. And then it will show up in that spot right there. Speaking of, there's an egg. Let's and I probably have some eggs we could hatch real quick. I just hatch all my eggs right away. The eggs are super cheap. Look at this. I couldn't believe it. Let's look at this again. Market data, DFK items, the eggs. Okay. Oh, they went back up. No, they didn't. Like, look at gray and blue eggs, dude. Holy smokes. Blue eggs for 5.9 Joule. That's wild. Green eggs for 10 Joule. Yellow eggs for 11 Joule. That's cheap. That is cheap. Okay. I'm going to come to the garden and claim my crystal and hatch this, or not hatch the egg, but put it up for incubation. And I think I've got maybe a few eggs to hatch. Yeah. Nice. I love it. Yeah. Sometimes pair won't show up. Scroll down, look at pair to manage with Drew. That's right. The hatching cost is a big factor on eggs being that cheap. That's right. Oh, that's a good thought, because we're going to have, if the eggs get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, we need to start considering because we got to think of it in terms of crystal though. So the blue egg was cheaper. Let's think about this for a second. In crystal, so the egg is 9 crystal, which is 6 Joule. So it's still by far better, I would say, to do it to do the middle one, the grace. Okay, in 52 minutes, these will be ready. Okay, because now where's the price point for an egg that an egg has to hit to actually make it worth it to do the favor? Because the biggest thing is this 0.2% chance to get a mythic versus so you have a 5 times better chance to hit the mythic, and it's all about getting the mythic. The legendary obviously is the bomb too. It just chances doubled. So the eggs got to get real cheap before you're going to convince me to do the favor and wait a full week on top of that, right? I've had a bad luck spree over the last week with my eggs, but right before this recent spree, I hit a couple pretty sweet legendaries. And I always do Grace. So, and we've gone over this, why it's much makes a million times more sense to do Grace over Boon. I still think I've got a couple eggs to hatch. Hang on other accounts. Workhorse just tweeted, baby. What's Workhorse doing? Oh, he's just like responding. For the next while, we'll be posting some. So this is DFK announcement. For the next while, we'll be posting some puzzle pieces in our various social media accounts. Gather all the pieces to reveal something new coming to Serendale when we launch on Clayton Official. Here's the board for you to get started. So I'm guessing that's probably in the Discord. Justice Beaver. When do you start posting the pieces? It's already begun. Yeah. And Workhorse had a funny response. Okay, a GIF. I love it. All right, let's see. There. The puzzle piece. The puzzle is cool, really. Okay, we got to look a little closer at that. Oh, I thought for sure I had an egg. Maybe it just needs refreshed. That's cool, Workhorse. Unless it's the Mythic Squad, I don't think swears by the Boon anymore, man. I don't think so. Okay, now definitely you want to do Boon if the price of an egg goes up over even 40 crystal or gets anywhere near 40 crystal per egg for one egg, then absolutely I would say do Boon. But you could hatch so many more eggs right now if you don't pay the extra 50 crystal. Okay, so yeah, that's right. That's right. Vibes. Okay, so the puzzle. What is this about, guys? Let me just double check I refreshed. I'm almost sure I've got an egg in here. No. Okay, so this puzzle. Let's look at this announcement real quick. Or is that just on Twitter? Maybe that's just a Twitter thing. Okay, not a new announcement. Yeah. Okay, so to Twitter we go. Okay. Zooming way out, I'm going to zoom way in. Down gent, baby. I love it. Okay. Notifications for Workhorse. That's funny because. All right. It's time to have some fun. For the next while, we'll be posting some puzzle pieces on our various social media accounts. Gather all the pieces to reveal something new coming to Serendale when we launch. Like, really? How do you do that? Interesting. Okay. On our various social media accounts. Like over here? Okay, those are just recent pictures. Interesting. Tell us more, Workhorse. Tell us more. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap up. I'm starting to fade. Yeah, 3 hours long. A Grady special once again. I love you guys. Like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what they even mean. Like, if we piece together some puzzle pieces, I'm going to follow Illuvium there. If we piece together puzzle pieces, huh? Interesting. I love it. Best team, best project in crypto, the dream team of all dream teams, the best group of developers developing on the project, the best developers within the project, and the best developers outside, third-party developers. I love this. Best community, best team, best ecosystem, best project in all of crypto, baby. DeFi Kingdoms to the moon. I love you guys. Crypto Grady out.